The biggest three stories of the day on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Wow, it's dangerously cold. Dangerously cold. There are folks in jeopardy right now whose safety is in jeopardy because of the cold that we have to help. I got to read part. This is from this young lady we're about to talk to, where she's talking about folks with no heat. And I got to bring her on because it's so important and she's so emotional. 2025 is the year of the truth, where she talks about folks in jail have heat. And she's right. Yet folks in this particular housing complex don't have heat. Amber, good morning. How are you? Amber. Amber, you there?
I'm sorry, I had it muted. Excuse me, I'm sorry, because I had my music on, so I had it muted. My apologies. I'm good. I can't complain, sir.
So, I'm reading this. 2025 is the year of the truth.
Yes,
You're spot on. You're spot on. Very, very emotional. There are people in jail cells right now that have heat, and folks in your community don't, right?
It's not my community. It's East Hills. It's part of my community.
Right.
And I live in Hope. Yeah, but I know a lot of them up there.
And tell us how those folks have to live in that community, and tell us what community that is.
So that's the, good morning. That's the Maple Ridge Apartments in East Hills, where the fire had took place and the 2-year-old was sadly taken away from us. They got those 11 families displaced already, but there were still families up there who they did just displace them yesterday. That's great, but the issue is displacing them, but they're still living week to week, not knowing if they not going to come from the hotel. You know, they worried. The one young lady, she's an elder. She talked about and cried. She wants to just go home. They're stuck in a hotel room. That's it. You know, so for me, being over there feeding them a few times, I went over and feeding them and helped them get donations. I've even given clothes. These people are young people, and I know from my own personal experiences of trauma, I grew up with no lights and water. So my main thing, when I'm at home, I pay my lights and water before I pay rent. So we don't know their upbringing. So a lot of them are very emotional, and they don't know. They're cleaning mold with bleach. That's the worst thing you could do. But we got to remember, most of these are young mothers or are senior citizens living up here in these conditions. And for me, it's like, they don't want to lose their place. You know how many people are afraid to speak up because they think they're going to lose their HUD.
So hold on. So they don't have heat. They have horrible living conditions. They have mold.
Yes.
They have filth. Yet they're afraid to speak up.
Yes. Wow. I mean, even if you look in the post, if you look at the comments where people talked about that, like one young lady said she hasn't had a refrigerator for months. And they were supposed to order her refrigerator. So you got a family that went through the holiday season without a refrigerator.
You have people.
You got a young lady that stayed at the hotel with four kids.
Amber, you had people begging. You had people begging yesterday for heating blankets, afraid they could die in this cold, right?
Exactly. I live in a house fully heated. I got my heat on 80 degrees with a sweatshirt on and some pants.
Wow.
Well, and yesterday there were people trying to heat there with ovens, which is so dangerous. People die that way.
Carbon monoxide, exactly. The one young lady with the 3 kids that are toddlers, she said, I've been exposed to carbon monoxide. They have a full lawsuit, but they are afraid.
They're afraid to protect themselves because they think they're going to get kicked out.
They feel like they will lose their housing. That is all they got. And we got to look at it. If they had to be displaced and clearly where they got them located at, now we're dealing with kids who can't go to school. Now we're doing, you know what I mean? So, like, it trickles down because now the parents can't go to work. So they don't know where nothing's coming from. And giving them $75 in a gift card is not it.
No.
And you know, so it's like, oh, how can I'll speak up for you. I'm not afraid. And, you know, Marty, I don't mean to bring it up. We had our difference a couple years ago during protests, but I have set that aside. And I will get on here to talk about this. I feel like the police should step in at this point and get them like he did Longview Heights. I have people in Homewood where I live out with their ceilings falling out. These are all HUD residents. I have so many videos and pictures of those people's conditions.
People living in poverty who no one seems to give a damn about, right?
Exactly. And that fear is I don't want to lose my HUD because when it gets to get right, I'm not going to have a house for real.
Amber, what can we do as a community to help? What can we do, my friend?
I feel like they should be charged, and if we could get a district attorney, whether it's a federal district attorney or it's the state district attorney, state and county district attorney, those folks need to be found. There's no way they can continue to run. I know the police was looking for me, or somebody was. You can easily find me on Google.
Right. So, how long do they have the protection of the warmth of a hotel before they have to go back to worried about heat again in their apartments?
So they don't even. I think that they're not even aware of what's next. You know, one young lady I know her, and I know her mother. She was on live crying. She was like, I was found where I'm at.
I saw her.
But I'm displaced now.
Sounds like a lot of them really need to find new permanent housing, that this is not going to be a long-term solution because this owner of the management company is not even there. They're not even answering. I guess the owners are in Seattle and a New York-based company manages it.
How many people, Amber, are in jeopardy, in your opinion? How many?
So last night, a lot of families were displaced out of their buildings. They did take them to the hotel and they condemned those buildings. Wow. But what is the next step? I'm a solution-based person.
Right on.
So we need solutions. We need to get all of us come to the table and figure out how are we going to get these people from the district attorney on down. And for me to say the district attorney is wow, it's crazy to me. But I feel like he's the only one who can properly do this.
Thank you, Amber. We'll be in touch. We'll do whatever. We'll do whatever you need.
Thank you. I mean, like that. If anyone would like to make donations to him, you can go right up to East Hills Drive, up at Park Ridge. I'm gonna post the address and donate because now they're at the hotel. So instead of 11 families, we got 30.
Wow.
Because they took 18 families out last night.
Text me an address on my cell, all right, for the donations.
Yes, address, and you can post it on your thing. Thanks for having me, Marty. You take care, man.
I know. We have gone at it in the past, quite frankly, over some personal things that were said. And the truth at the end of the day is we're trying to save lives here.
Yeah, it's great. She's trying to help these people. They really need it. I mean, yesterday there were some leaders out there, but, you know, that fire happened 3 weeks ago, and clearly not enough has been done. These people need to get out of there.
Baby was killed and in a fire. And then at least 20 families had no heat at all. They were begging yesterday for blankets and electric blankets. Then Port Authority sent up a warming bus in these insane temperatures. Now they have them in temporary housing in a hotel, but they have no idea what tomorrow will bring in very, very dangerous conditions. From the PJ Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic powered by Bowser. Ellen Gamble, what's up?
We have a bit of a tight situation here on Route 28 coming out of the Allegheny Valley this morning, Marty. We have a de-icing bridge that was awfully icy. This is in Harrison Township between Freeport and Tarentum's exits. And right now, 28, per the state police, is closed southbound as they try to get road crews in there to get that road in better shape, in safe shape for all of you to be traveling it. And one of the state troopers with whom I spoke said, hey, folks need to slow down out there. Please, if you won't listen to us, listen to them because they're the ones who are going to help you if you get into an accident. Right now, traffic on 28 southbound is being taken off at the 908 exit. That's for Saxonburg, and there is a lot of congestion there. With AAA Traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
All the news you need for your day and the sports, music, and podcasts you love are all on the free Odyssey app. Download now.
Lowe's knows how to help make your Super Bowl 59 party a touchdown. Let us help you prep your home to host with top brands like Charbroil, Blackstone, and LG, so you can be the MVP of game day. Plus, use the Lowe's app to find what you need for a seamless shopping run. Or huddle up with our Lowe's Red Vest associates to help make all your game time hosting decisions.
According to independent studies, AccuWeather has been proven to be the most accurate source of weather forecasts and warnings. In the longest continuous forecast accuracy study comparing AccuWeather to National Weather Service temperature forecasts for Washington, D.C., AccuWeather forecasts have been more accurate in greater than 99% of the months since the study was initiated in January 1998. If you want to be correct most often, AccuWeather is your only solution. Go to AccuWeather.com or download the AccuWeather app in the App Store or Google Play today.
This traffic report sponsored by Robert Half.
Man, I've been through a cancer battle, and UPMC saved my life, and it's just the truth, and I rave about them. In a very, very difficult time historically in healthcare, in a very, very stressful time for patients, doctors, staff, everybody involved, it ain't easy. But my sister is going through pancreatic cancer treatment at UPMC Hillman, and every single day runs into very, very stressful situations, and every single day they handle it in an amazing way at UPMC. They handle it like no one else handles it. UPMC, life-changing, life-saving information, lifetime of helping people. I love it.
9 out of 10 hiring managers are having difficulty hiring. Robert Half is here to help. Our recruiting professionals utilize an award-winning AI to connect businesses with highly skilled talent. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
Vacations begin here at the Pittsburgh Travel Showcase, presented by AAA Travel. More than a show, it's a global travel extravaganza, January 24th through the 26th at the David Lawrence Convention Center. It's your savings ticket with convenient one-stop shopping. Meet top travel representatives. Book your next vacation on the spot. There's exclusive discounts, expert destination speakers, motor coach trips, and a travel store. Dream it, plan it, book it, experience it. Tickets at PittsburghTravelShowcase.com, where your adventure is waiting for you.
Trust and Will knows that we'll all eventually need a will. How about right now? Trust and Will makes creating your will easy, like while you're lounging on the couch easy. Trust and Will is designed by attorneys but customized by you, and all documents are state-specific and secure. Find your plan at trustandwill.com and use offer code RADIO now for 10% off. That's trustandwill.com, offer code RADIO. Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. Visit trustandwill.com for details.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their second month free when they sign up and use promo code SECONDFREE by January 26th. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
UPMC, life-saving, life-changing information. Amazing.
Pittsburgh's 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
A lot of people in a lot of jeopardy right now because it's so damn cold and because they don't have heat. But I also want you to think about your pets. We talked to some really amazing animal rights activists about leaving dogs outside. And we actually got 2 dogs that were stuck outside rescued. I want to play this sound of this woman that found this cat. It's unbelievably emotional. And in your mind's eye, we posted it on X, but imagine a little kitten frozen to the... Honey, did you see that video? No, it's unbelievable. Ryan, play the sound, please.
Hold on, buddy. I'm trying to get you help. His back leg looks swollen. He could barely move. He was walking a little bit. He's very skinny. I don't know what else to do, and it's freezing out here.
How about that?
Aww.
How about that?
So the cat was alive.
Frozen to the cement.
Like the paws were frozen?
Yes. And one more thing.
Aww.
UPMC, excuse me. UPMC has a patient who came in with hypothermia. Body temperature, 27 degrees Celsius. That's 80 degrees. Found unconscious, outside, will not live.
Oh, no.
Overwhelmed. One of my boys just sent me a text. Busted pipe yesterday. Basement temperature, 25 degrees. Furniture couldn't keep up. Patrick, what was the temperature in your house when you went home yesterday?
When I went home yesterday, it was 63 degrees.
And in one room, was it 58?
Around the doors, yeah. My back door was about 58 degrees. In the living room where the main thermostat is, I mean, the furnace just couldn't keep up.
What do you have to do to get the house to a warm enough temperature?
Had to add space heaters. So I've got a couple of space heaters. One by the front door, where it gets really cold coming in. Another towards the back of our kitchen where we had some pipes that were freezing up.
I want to grab one of my boys, Big Dave. Dave, good morning, sir. How are you?
Oh, good morning. How are you, Marty?
Dave is one of the best HVAC guys I've ever known. Couple things Dave wants folks to know. Number one, guys like you are overwhelmed, right?
Oh, yes. The call volumes are, just amazing. We start the morning with 30 calls.
Whoa.
We have over 30 technicians, and every single one of them had a call this morning. And we're still fielding calls, and I know our office is staying open till 7 o'clock, just so you're not calling an answering service, you're getting someone live. Just because, a lot of times people will get home at 5 o'clock and find out, oh, wait, my furnace isn't working, and, they need service right away.
All right.
But,
what are you
I just ask people to be patient.
What are you saying in terms of how are people talking to some of your techs? And kind of explain, based on what he just said, how they're overworked. How are people talking to some of these techs?
Sometimes they're yelling at them, or, why did it take you so long to get here? Or, we're subject to, what I tell people is the very first call of the day is always going to be the call that's right on time. But we have to fix, we try not to leave anyone without heat. So we have to fix each job has to be completed before we go to the next one. So sometimes, what you think is going to be an hour service call to fix might take 2 hours, might take 3 hours. But we work until we get them all done.
And sometimes, especially now, because there's so much going on, there are part delays, and folks got to be patient, do they not, sir?
Yes, there are. We are subject to the suppliers of the furnace parts out there, and when you have this extreme cold weather, and it's first come first serve on the parts, and sometimes and we still have we've had motors that were 10 days away.
All right, tell folks what they should do if they do have a breakdown in the furnace. You mentioned some sort of a backup heating system. Describe that.
Well, you should, if you have a space heat, everyone should have at least a few space heaters in their home. And a couple of things. Make sure if you're using a space heater, make sure you're plugging it directly into a wall. You're not using an extension cord, because extension cords can overheat, and you can create a fire in your home. But you should have, every home, even if your furnace is working perfectly, have a couple space heaters. Just in case, what if maybe your neighbor needs one, or someone elderly in the neighborhood their heat isn't working. Check on your neighbors, check on some older folks in your neighborhood, because a lot of times older folks who are on a limited income, they will run their furnaces at 50, 55 degrees. Whoa. Because they can't afford the bill. Whoa. I mean, I know my gas bill. My last gas bill was just $500.
Whoa.
Wow.
No, it's crazy. Thanks, my man. Appreciate you, brother.
Okay, take care, Marty.
Very, 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 very significant information. Number one, have some kind of backup. Number two, plug the space heaters directly into the wall. We've been to several fires where they were caused by space heaters.
Yeah, Andy Amrine brought to our house, and I did a story on it just the other day, an actual power outlet that had fried and was literally blackened and melted. Whoa. That had been plugged into a space heater. The space heater was plugged into that, and it was frightening, honestly, because you could see what horrible kind of fire that could start.
Our house, we keep it at 72. We've had pipes burst in our basement. So this year we put that, at the recommendation of several people, this Bill Sawyer, my friend, this type of coil wraps around the pipes.
Yeah, it's like a heated wire that you tape to the pipe, and it just delivers enough heat to keep the water inside warm.
And when the garage reaches a certain temperature, it immediately kicks on. It has a thermostat in it.
Mm-hmm.
And we have that in there now. We left the basement, the garage door open to the house, so some of the cold air, the warm air from the house could heat that, because we have had pipes burst in the past. It's very expensive to fix.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And right now, every single HVAC guy I know is slammed. My deal is this. The folks that are living without heat. It's a horrible, horrible situation and can be very, very dangerous. As I mentioned, hypothermia patient came into UPMC with a body temperature of 27 degrees centigrade. That's 80.6 degrees. He will not live.
Is foot, knee, hip, or back pain making your workday unbearable? Maybe you need high-quality support in your shoes. That's where the Good Feet store can help you, like Deidre and Tom.
The pain would shoot up my heels. I would tiptoe out of bed because my heels hurt so badly. When I went to the Good Feet store, they allowed me to try on the arch supports. I walked around and I started sobbing because I had no pain.
I work 8 to 10 hours a day. Probably 60% of the time I'm on my feet. I had pain in my feet. Like the second or third day after I left the store, no pain. My feet never hurt. I can stand up straight. I'm 6'1" again. My legs, I have no pain. Everything's gone. No pain. Zero pain. Unbelievable.
Visit us in Robinson Town Center, in Cranberry Township, in Morgantown at Suncrest Town Center, or book your free fitting at goodfeet.com. Good Feet arch supports are proudly made in the USA. Come in and take a free test walk today.
When you hire our firm, you become part of the family. Nobody messes with family. Get the good guys, Goodrich and Geist.
I'm with Rocco Florio from Air Pro Heating and Cooling with great news.
Air Pro and Bryant are now offering the $1,000 rebate program. Buy a furnace, take $1,000 off. Add a central air conditioning system, take another $1,000 off. That's $2,000 savings.
Plus up to 60 months interest-free financing or low 3.9% interest, subject to credit approval. So call someone you know. Call Air Pro Heating and Cooling at 800-749-0642. Bryant, whatever it takes.
From the Aetna Medicare Solutions Studio.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
1 degree above zero. It's sunny. 10:30 now. I'm Paul Rasmussen. Today's low temperature of 7 below zero at Pittsburgh International is the coldest in nearly 10 years. In fact, the last time it was colder was in February of 2015, the reading then 9 below. Our newsroom has compiled a list of frigid weather information, including closures, forecasts, preventing frostbite, keeping pets safe, dealing with and preventing frozen pipes, using space heaters safely, what types of snow melt work in which conditions. It's all on one page at kdkradio.com. The coroner has been called to a Washington County apartment complex. Fire crews were sent around 8 a.m. to the Thomas Campbell Apartments in the 800 block of Beach Street in South Strabane Township. The flames reportedly broke out on the 4th floor of that senior living facility. No specifics yet on any deaths or casualties. A Mercer County judge has approved a settlement for Sharon Regional Medical Center to become operational soon. News Radio KDKA's Tamira Rush has details.
Sharon Regional closed its doors on January 6 after unsuccessfully finding a buyer for the hospital. 4 days later, the sale of the hospital to Tenor Health was approved. Late Tuesday, Judge Ted Nesbitt signed an uncontested settlement agreement allowing the Attorney General to drop its $25 million claim against Medical Properties Trust, Inc. over its failure to make capital improvements to hospital property in return for Tenor Health Foundation's purchase of the hospital. This settlement agreement was one of the final obstacles in the way of the hospital reopening. Some 850 employees were left out of work when the hospital closed its doors. Tamira Rush, News Radio, KDKA.
On Wall Street at this hour, the Dow is up 111 points at 44,137. The NASDAQ is up 257, and the S&P is up 40 points. KDKA Radio News Time, 10:32. Our next update at 11 on the Voice of Pittsburgh, News Radio KDKA.
With 2025, it's important to think about the possibilities that the new year brings. Larry Richard for G&G Fitness Equipment. It's new year, new home gym season. Talk to the G&G experts about improving your cardio and strength training. Check out the cardio and home gym bundles at G&G Fitness with great financing options. They have everything you need to build your home gym in 2025. Visit one of G&G Fitness Equipment's 4 Pittsburgh locations or online at ggfitness.com.
What are your plans this winter? Snowy walk in the park? Curl up by the fire with a nice book? Get stuck in the hospital with COVID-19? If that last one isn't in your plans, and surely it's not, then consider getting an updated vaccine. Because if you're 65 or older, you're 14 times more likely to be hospitalized with COVID-19 than someone under 50. So get your updated vaccine and make the most of this winter. Risk less. Do more. Get started at vaccines.gov. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Are your glass shower doors past their prime, tarnished maybe, or simply disgusting? Well, Colin Dunlap here from my great friends Larry and Nick, the owners of Boulevard Glass and Metal. This is the same team of guys you see installing large glass storefronts all around town. Transform your shower into a spa-like retreat with a custom glass shower enclosure from Boulevard Glass and Metal. Check out their easy, hassle-free quote request online, boulevardglassandmetal.com. Simply pick a layout, answer a couple questions, and send it. They'll get back to you with a price.
Subaru was built for winter, and Bowser Subaru has over 100 new Subarus to get you where you need to go. The 2025 Subaru Crosstrek Premium, VIN number RH908770, is ready to conquer the snow-covered roads of Pittsburgh. And right now at Bowser Subaru, you can lease it for just $299 a month. 36-month lease with $2,999 due at signing. Don't wait. Visit Bowser Subaru today and take advantage of this limited-time offer. MSRP $30,778, 10,000 miles per year. Dealer dock fee of $477 applies. No security deposit required. With credit approval and financing through SMFL. See Bowser Subaru for complete details. Offer ends January 31st. BowserSubaru.com. Bowser Subaru, Route 51 South on top of the hill.
Hey, it's Marty. I go back 20 years with Phil DeVicente, one of the best lawyers in the country and one of my close friends. And, I mean, they handle unbelievable cases, fraud, criminal cases, big-time product liability and medical malpractice cases, the experts. And Phil gets it right. We have been using him on air for nearly 20 years. GetPhil.com, 800-438-7445. From the P.J. Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser. Ellen Gamble, what's up?
All right, what's up, Marty, is we still have 28 southbound closed near the Route 908 exit. That's for Saxonburg, putting it between the Freeport and Charenton exits. Closed per state police because a de-icing bridge that carries Route 28 over 908 got very icy earlier this morning. We had accidents in both directions on that span. And as they are getting crews in there to treat that roadway, they need to have that closed, all traffic being shoved off of 28 southbound at the 908 exit. There are delays through that interchange, but they are saying they should reopen that portion of the highway to all traffic soon. We'll certainly keep you posted as we have it here. Accident on Island Avenue at Bouquet Street. That's in McKees Rocks. Watch for the crews on the scene there. With AAA Traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Another frigid afternoon with sunshine mixing with clouds. Our high 14, partly to mostly cloudy and very cold tonight, though 9. Tomorrow, clouds and some sun, but not as cold in the afternoon, the high up to 28. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Has your home or business been damaged by fire, water, or storm? Even when dealing with insurance, you have a choice who repairs and cleans up the mess. Call Service Master of Greater Pittsburgh.
The man, the yellow van, call Service Master.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
Wednesday, middle of the week, still freezing cold. Courts are closed, schools closed, things are closed. It is what it is. Stay warm. Colin Dunlap, 2 to 6 today, right here, KDK.
I'm generally kind of a believer that people should go to work. But this is flat out dangerous.
Well, if you work outside,
Yep.
it's absolutely dangerous, no question. Even going in and out, like Amazon drivers and post office workers are outside all day. I mean, it's very dangerous.
A lot of my boys are HVAC guys, plumbers. They work their asses off in this kind of weather. They'll get hundreds of calls. We talked to a woman yesterday, has 4 kids. Her hot water heater blew up. Her pipes blew up. I want you to hear this clip from Denise.
Good friend of my son's came out and replaced my hot water tank, and as he was doing that, it was because it was so cold, the hot water tank exploded, and actually I thought it was going to catch on fire. It was sizzling from the top of the hot water tank where it's connected, and
wow. And so then, hold on, Denise, so also your water pipes exploded after freezing, right?
Yeah, once he got into that, got the hot water fixed, was running through the pipes, found 4 or 5 leaks through my pipes, so my water pipes broke. Right now I'm dealing with, I got hot water in the shower, thank God to him, but it's cold water that I just got to keep the water running consistently so it doesn't freeze again, and hopefully it won't.
By the way, this is how a lot of folks live. I was out all over the region on Saturday with the folks from 2D Mechanical. And in one day, it's their one-day miracle, put in 15 furnaces, and every single house had no furnace. None. One house hadn't had a furnace since 2005.
Wow.
It's hard to imagine, honey, but you go in there and you can see your breath, and then you see kids, and then you see folks under blankets, and then you see pets, and you think, how the hell does this happen in America? One of my boys, one of my favorite people joining us, Ken Kukuro, who's a fantastic, we met years ago when Ken was listening to this show, and he donated $1,000 to help a family that was desperate. And he continues to be this man that really cares about people. But, Ken, your guys are out all day long, and they're seeing pipes exploded and furnaces shut down. This weather creates hazards galore, does it not, Ken?
Yes, sir. Good morning, Marty. Thank you for having me on. Yeah, this weather is it's nothing but a problem for water pipes and especially old copper lines. A lot of these lines have some air blowing across them. And once that air blows across that pipe, it freezes that water inside and just splits the pipe.
And what do you tell people to do to kind of prevent that from happening? I mean, with the old pipes, not a whole lot you can do, is there?
Well, you can go through and put insulation on them. You can try to find any holes in the foundation where air may be getting in. The last thing I like to see people do is leave their water running because it just runs your bill up. But you can leave that water dripping, and that's keeping that water just moving through there slow enough not to cause the water to freeze.
Hey, Patrick, what was the temperature? You took a temperature in some of the cabinets in your house. It was kind of crazy.
It was under my kitchen sink this morning. At the back wall, it was 26 degrees.
So
at the pipes, it was 34.
So that's what happens, right, Ken?
Yep. That air is coming right through that wall. It's not insulated well enough. And I think I talked to Patrick yesterday. I told him to open up those cabinets.
And
why
are copper pipes so much worse?
There's a seam in copper pipes where the plastic pipe, there isn't a seam.
And so that little bit can make it colder. Air can get in there.
Well, yeah, that water freezes it and expands.
Oh.
And when it expands, it just splits that pipe.
I see. Wow. And we have so many old homes here with copper pipes.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you could have it on PEX, the plastic pipe, but I really haven't seen it on PEX. You might see it freeze, and it'll blow up like, a little bit like a balloon, but then all of a sudden, it thaws and it goes back down. It doesn't have the capability to split.
Do you recommend...
May pop a fitting off and what have you, but other than that...
Do you recommend wrapping it with that silver insulation tape? Does that make a difference?
Yeah, the best thing probably to wrap it with would be like a Armaflex insulation. It's a foam with maybe like a 3/8.
Yep.
Yeah, 3/8 half-inch wall thickness.
Okay.
That'll protect it really good. And another thing you could do is you could wrap it with it's electric heat tape. You put that on there, you wrap the pipe up, you put your insulation on there, and you plug it right into the wall. Has a little thermostat on there.
We have that. By the way, we have that on pipes right now in our basement. We have that right now on the pipes.
Yep, that's another good idea.
Hey, let me ask you something. One of my boys sending me a note about heaters. Let me get to it. Ask him if an oil radiator heater is better than one with glowing coils showing.
Yeah, because it's a radiant heat.
Oh. Okay, so
I mean, you could put something on her with it blowing, and that air is going to be hot air. It's not going to affect anything. I would say use the one that is most economical. And I would probably say that oil one is the most economical.
You sent me a text last night because your son-in-law is doing a lot of work with your company right now, Kukuro Plumbing, and it was all freeze calls. What kind of calls?
A lot of freeze calls. Just again, people forgetting to turn off their hose bibs inside their house.
Oh.
So now that water's going out to that hose bib through the foundation, and that's all exposed to the cold.
Oh.
So make sure all your hose bibs are closed off. Make sure your hoses are disconnected.
What the hell's a hose bib?
A hose bib is where you connect your hose to, Marty. Come on now. That's Plumbing 101.
I'm an idiot, man. I can barely turn on the water.
The outside spigot is what you're referring to. That's the hose bib?
Spigot, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm going to wash the damn car today. Damn it. Damn it, Ken.
That goes back to water closets, Marty.
Oh, my gosh, my man. This guy's done more for us. He put in a sewage line for this wonderful woman in Homewood that turned out to be a $120,000 plus job.
Wow.
He's unbelievable. That being said, you heard Denise's story. You hear this a lot. You're going to check out her problem and see if you can help her. She's got 4 boys, no heat, hot water tank frozen, exploded. None of this is easy for folks who can't pay, is it, sir?
No, not at all. Not at all. It's probably so frustrating for them. It's sad.
And it's incredibly...
If we can help out, a handful of people, a handful of people that are better.
All right, my brother. You're the best. And, I love you.
Thank you for having me.
It's really important
Take
information.
care, guys. Love you, too.
Thanks, my man. He's one of the best ever. Honestly, Patrick, that sewage system in Homewood, city couldn't fix it. No one could fix it. Ended up being horrible. Cost him $120,000, and he did it because he wants to make a difference. Check out this furnace of this woman whose hot water tank exploded, whose pipes exploded, and she can't pay to get this kind of help. As my boy Ken Baker said, world's greatest plumber, what do their calls cost today? What do their calls cost?
What was it, $350 an hour?
$350 an hour. $350 an hour, honey.
Wow, that's incredible.
Most people can't pay attention. It's just very, very expensive. Love Ken Kukuro. He's a great man. That's how I met him. We went to his office and he gave us $1,000 to help a family in need. That's how we met, with his kindness. From the P.J. Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser. Ellen Gamble, what's up?
What's up is we continue to just have one trouble spot on our major arteries heading into town at this point, Marty. This is southbound 28 in Harrison Township, so it puts it between the Freeport and Tarentum exits, right where 28 is the going over Saxonburg Boulevard and Route 908 at that Saxonburg exit. Per Pennsylvania State Police, they've had to close that roadway because a de-icing bridge was awfully slippery earlier today. We did have accidents in both directions there. We're waiting to hear when that southbound portion of 28 will reopen. Crews are getting out there to salt and get that highway better prepared for traffic. And that 908 exit is clogged because that's where folks are being diverted off of the highway. Accident on Island Avenue at Bouquet Street in McKees Rocks. Heads up for that. With AAA Traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Did you know that now you can listen to all your favorite stations, including this one, shows, and even podcasts, all on the Odyssey app? Download it now.
Asbestos-related deaths in Allegheny County are 50 to 100% higher than the national average. In a city defined by its history with steel making, many local area tradesmen and steel workers were exposed to asbestos on the job and are now suffering from lung cancer or mesothelioma. If you have been diagnosed with lung cancer or mesothelioma, you may be entitled to compensation, even if you smoked. For a free consultation, contact the Pittsburgh-based law firm Goldberg, Persky & White at 1-800-COMPLEX or online at gpwlaw.com.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Helping your inner circle prepare for emergencies can start in many ways. Put together an emergency kit with WipeWall. Create a family communication plan with your tita. Remind Bai to keep a backup battery charged. It all starts with a simple step, telling those you care about to be ready for the worst. So start a conversation and plan for emergencies together. Get more tips at ready.gov/start. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Hey, folks, it's Marty. New year, and I need, and maybe you need, new windows. We got this big picture window. We've got my friends at Universal Windows Direct taking a look at. They're the best windows. They're draft-free, the best insulation, the best pricing. Amazing. Buy 2, get 2 free. Buy 4, get 4 free. Get it? It's absolutely fantastic. And 36 months of no interest financing. 412-543-6003. Universal Windows Direct.
When you call yourself the voice of Pittsburgh, you have to know when to not talk. Sometimes you just need to be the ears of Pittsburgh. Just listen. Listen to what you have to say. These are complicated and uncertain times. But when you need us, we're here for you. And we're listening. A trusted source that you can count on to be here. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of women and almost 20% of men suffer from varicose or spider veins. And if you think this is just a cosmetic problem, think again. Varicose or spider veins, if left untreated, can lead to swollen or discolored legs, cramping, the inability to stand or walk, neuropathy, even worse, blood clots, which can travel to other parts of your body. But here's the good news. Advanced Medical Vein Treatment Centers offers plans that treat and cure the condition, not just cover up. Grab your phone, take down this number, and call 800-809-7991. That's 800-809-7991. When you call, you'll get free information. Free information on how you can live your life to the fullest again. Walk, exercise, sleep well. Your vein problems will not go away on their own, and in time can lead to major health issues. Call Advanced Medical Vein today for free information on fast and easy solutions that are covered by most insurance plans, Medicare included. Call 800-809-7991. That's 800-809-7991 today.
Hello, this is Les Botkin of Botkin Family Wealth Management. I've been a financial advisor for over 20 years, but this wasn't my first career. In a previous life, I was a PGA golf professional involved in building Nevillewood, where I played the opening round with Jack Nicklaus, a dream come true. Years later, while in my 40s and working at another golf course, I suddenly lost my job. I had 2 kids in college and I was scared. With the encouragement of my wife Barb and the help of good friends, I embarked on a new career in finance. It was humbling, but in time and with hard work, I became successful in my life's new chapter. Today, I'm a certified financial planner professional and work with my daughter Sarah and son Lester at Botkin Family Wealth Management. The day we opened the doors to our business is one of the best in my life. Dreams change, for me and maybe for you. Let us help you navigate the changes. Visit us at botkinfamilywealth.com.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA, SIPC.
Every time I go into the offices of Physical, that's F-Y-Z-I-C-A-L, in Monroeville, where I get physical therapy, to help my balance, I see a room full of patients waiting that heard how much it's helped me on this talk show. And it's so rewarding. F-Y-Z-I-C-A-L, 412-457-8200, right behind the Monroeville Mall. Look, I had chemo and radiation, jacked up my balance. It doesn't anymore. Physical, F-Y-Z-I-C-A-L. It works.
Here's your Jill on Money question of the day.
Jack from Pennsylvania asks, I recently heard you mention to a caller that she should attempt to draw down her 401k as much as possible prior to age 70. Can you please provide an explanation as to why? Well, Jack, without having the specific question in front of me, I'm guessing that this was a person who had saved a lot of money in pre-tax retirement accounts. And when that's the case, it is important to remember that there will eventually be a required minimum distribution, and you will be forced to take that money out.
Have a question? Go to JillOnMoney.com.
At Progressive, we're making things even easier. We'll help you bundle your home and car insurance together so you can save on both. Learn more at Progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE.
Hear about it, then talk about it. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, I got to grab Frank here in a second. He's got a great tip regarding busted pipes, but I want to hear... Honey, listen to this story from Ryan. So Ryan, our wonderful young producer.
Yeah.
Ryan, hop on there, man.
Hello.
Ryan's there. Ryan, how many buses do you take to get to work every day?
2 buses.
How cold was it today when you left your house?
About -6.
-6.
Ooh.
All right. Listen to this story that he was brave enough to tell me and Patrick. What happened as you left your house?
So, yeah, about 6:45, I step out of my front door. I'd just taken a shower, just a couple minutes prior. My nose hairs were still a little wet, and as soon as I step out, in literally 15 seconds, I can feel them freeze in my nose.
They froze.
Oh, my goodness.
Froze. Did they break off?
They did not break off. Like they sort of they melted a little bit just by the function of me breathing.
But the point is, Ryan, it was so damn cold that happened that fast.
It was very fast.
Did you have a hat on? Because if your hair was wet, I'm sure it would have frozen.
I had a hat on, luckily.
Yeah.
He had it pulled down over his nose, honey. Thanks, Ryan.
You do need to wear literally like a full face mask, like those ski masks, because if you're going to be outside for any length
Most
of time.
men would rather have frostbite than wear a hat on their hair, which is idiotic, but true.
I
Thanks,
actually
brother.
saw several men yesterday with hats on, which occurred to me, wow, this is kind of unusual.
I want to grab Frank, my boy Frank, who I love, one of my favorite people. Tootie
Good
Mechanic.
morning, Marty. Good morning,
What's
Christine.
up, brother? How are
Hey,
you?
Frank.
I'm great. I'm great. As you know, I don't have to be in it as I used to be.
But hold on, you sent me a great tip. Tell our listeners. This is smart.
Yeah, I've seen it happen. You got to be careful. It's unfortunate if your pipe freezes. It freezes. I mean, there's not a whole lot you can do except some portable heat to try to help. But I've seen it happen where a pipe will freeze, and a person, well, it's frozen. What am I going to do? I can't do nothing here. I might as well go shopping. I might as well go to the gym. I might as well do something else or go to my relatives to shower or whatever. You got to be careful because if that pipe froze, now there's no water movement. It splits, and as it thaws, what'll happen is it could flood your home. That water will then start
This
running.
makes sense.
If you have to leave your home, if you need to leave with a frozen pipe or pipes, shut the main off. That way, when you come back, you turn the main on. If there's anything that's leaking, you'll catch it right away. But don't leave your home with frozen pipes because it could be a nightmare.
Wow.
Makes sense.
Great advice.
Thanks, Frank. You're my man.
You got it. Thanks. Bye.
We've had them. A couple years ago, it was like 2 below. And I work out in the basement, and you got to walk through the garage. And I walk through the garage, and I hear a hissing sound, look against the wall, and a pipe had exploded. And it's one of these copper pipes that we've been talking about all morning.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And there were several inches of water in the basement. And so what Frank is saying makes a lot of sense, right?
Yep. Yeah, no, it's just shut off the main water if you have to leave, especially because you don't want to come home to water spewing all out of your pipes.
As we proceed through the day, we're going to have a lot of different weather stuff. If we can help you, email me, getmarty@kdkradio.com, getmarty@kdkradio.com. There are a lot of folks in jeopardy right now in terms of heat. Check on the folks you love. Check on the folks that don't have enough money. Check on the folks with space heaters. They can be very dangerous. And what I would suggest is make sure they're plugged directly into a wall. You get into trouble with extension cords, right, honey?
Absolutely. Even power strips. You cannot use those with space heaters. It's very dangerous. Causes fires.
Our dog knows how cold it is. Generally, when she urinates, and I take her out twice a day, she peruses the whole yard like she's on a shopping spree at the mall. Not now. She walks down 4 stairs, finds the first piece of snow she can urinate on, goes, and she's back in the house in 45 seconds,
Yep.
right?
Oh, it's a lot quicker process.
It's a fast process. I love the advice. Drip the pipes. Drip the pipes, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. And any pipes that are facing an outside wall, that's the key, is those are the ones that are going to be cold, which is typically in a kitchen. Your kitchen sink's often up against a wall. Open those cabinets, pull out what's in the cabinet so that the warm air can get to those pipes and try and keep them warm. As well as if it's in the single digits, you should have about a pencil thick stream of water coming from the sink.
All right, folks. Hey, one of my favorite people, Mr. David Hickton, former U.S. Attorney, live next. We're going to talk about these insane paroles and pardons on both sides.
Oh, yeah.
On both sides.
Yeah.
Biden went berserk. And then a lot of folks screaming and yelling about Trump releasing folks who beat the hell out of cops. On both sides, it's way out of control. David Hickton next.
When the weather turns bad, turn to us for the best news, weather, and traffic information from the KDKA Radio Storm Center. Brought to you by Service Master of Greater Pittsburgh, Demand the Yellow Van, and by Butler Transit Authority, online and on the Voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the perfect place for mom.
Look, Julian Gray and I became good friends when my parents passed. And in those difficult times, I'll tell you what he did. He got us through it. Seriously, with estate planning, unbelievable. With managing the taxes, unbelievable. With a will, unbelievable. This is what they do, folks. They're certified elder law attorneys, and they are committed to helping you with legal issues and protecting your family. Julian Gray is the best I've ever known. I have gone in his office in a frenzy, worried about taxes, about the estate, about how to manage money, about how to manage my future. And Julian Gray and his people answer those questions. They're the best going. GrayOuterLaw.com, GrayOuterLaw.com, 412-458-6000, 412-458-6000. The best.
SchultzFord.com, 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 SchultzFord.com.
KDKA and KDKA FM HD2 Pittsburgh, W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare Solutions Studio.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
4 degrees above zero now. Skies are sunny at 11 o'clock. I'm Paul Rasmussen. Today's low temperature of 7 below zero at Pittsburgh International. The coldest in nearly 10 years. In fact, the last time it was colder was in February of 2015 when the reading was 9 below. Today, Allegheny County offices will be partially closed. That is so non-essential employees can work at home. All divisions of the Court of Common Pleas, Magisterial District Courts, and Pittsburgh Municipal Court are closed again today. Arraignment Court will be open. Essential services will be operational, but park facilities for skating and skiing are closed today. The Allegheny County Sheriff's Office is warning of a new scam. News Radio KDKA's David Ballarado has more.
The phone call starts like this.
The following is a recorded message from the Allegheny County Sheriff's Office. Good morning. This is Lieutenant James Perry calling from the Allegheny
Then the message
County
goes on to
Sheriff's
tell you about a missing federal court appointment last Friday, and you must reach out to them to reschedule. They provide a phone number, an email address, and a website, but as the Sheriff's Office points out, the website ends with .org and not .gov. The Sheriff's Office says there is no Lieutenant James Perry in the department, and they would never ask for any payment in any form of cryptocurrency or through Venmo or Zelle. David Ballarado, News Radio, KDKA.
Now, the coroner has been called to a Washington County apartment complex this morning. Fire crews were sent around 8 a.m. to the Thomas Campbell Apartments in the 800 block of Beach Street in South Strabane Township. The flames reportedly broke out on the 4th floor of the senior living facility. There are no specifics yet on any deaths or casualties. Also, investigators are working after a fatal shooting in Perry South over the weekend. Pittsburgh police are just now reporting this incident last Saturday in the 100 block of Hawkins Avenue. Officers found a woman inside a residence with a gunshot wound to the head. She was pronounced dead at the scene. The Pittsburgh Downtown Partnership has unveiled a new vision for revitalizing the Golden Triangle. With more on that, here's News Radio KDKA's Tamira Rush.
After an announced public-private investment of $600 million to help rejuvenate downtown last October, the partnership unveiled a 3-year plan for revitalizing the Golden Triangle, aimed at preventing businesses from leaving, keeping the streets safe and clean, and filling empty storefronts. As part of the new strategic vision, the PDP emphasized the goal of doubling the residential population of downtown to 15,000 within the decade, and to improve the retail occupancy levels by 10%. The partnership's new initiative is designed to turn strategy into action in the efforts to bring new vitality to a downtown that has struggled to right itself in the aftermath of the pandemic. Tamira Rush, News Radio, KDKA.
On Wall Street, the Dow is up 67 points at 44,081. The NASDAQ is up 230 points. And the S&P is up 37. KDKA Sports, one college basketball game on the schedule. Youngstown State hosts Robert Morris tonight. The Penguins have a night off during their 7-game road trip. They'll play Anaheim tomorrow night. The news is brought to you by P.J. Fitzpatrick. For your home's windows, siding, doors, and bath, trust PJ.com. KDKA Radio News Time, 11:03. Recently lost health insurance or don't have insurance through an employer? Contact Dina Schmidt at One Health Benefits, 724-799-8873. 4 above zero now. It's sunny in Pittsburgh. AAA traffic in the AccuWeather forecast next.
The pro football playoff season is here, and there's one place to be. The BetQL Network, presented by BetMGM.
Your home for wagertainment, giving you the sharpest insights and bringing on expert guest analysis.
From point spreads to props, live betting to futures, BetQL has you covered every step of the way with wall-to-wall coverage on the road to the championship in New Orleans.
Listen live on the BetQL Network, presented by BetMGM, on the free Odyssey app and twitch.tv/BetQL or YouTube at Odyssey Sports.
Do you want to lose weight? Do you want to move better? Do you want to decrease your meds? Do you want to have more self-worth, self-esteem, self-confidence? Then why not? Let's do it. I'm Dr. Bridget Chufo from the Weight Loss and Wellness Center. You've heard my voice now for over 26 years. I'll be your partner. Make it easy, possible. We live in Pittsburgh. We'll be living the next few months in the cold. Let's make this time our time for improving ourselves and emerge a brand new person. Give me a call at 1-800-900-THIN.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED, because millions of men experience it. Did you know that 1 in 4 people seeking treatment for ED are under 40? So you're not alone. And even better, Hims can help. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/joy. It all starts with an online intake form. From there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. Through hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
From the P.J. Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser. Ellen Gamble, what's up?
All right, we continue to have crews working to get the roadway a little less slippery for you on 28. This is at the Saxonburg Route 908 exit in Harrison Township and just south of that area. So it puts it between the Freeport and Charenton exits. Has been closed at times per Pennsylvania State Police because of icy conditions on that roadway. We had several accidents in both directions there earlier this morning. We'll certainly let you know as soon as that highway is completely reopened for you. Once you get closer to downtown on Route 28, it's a good ride down past the 40th and 31st Street bridges. No major delays coming into town on the parkways north or west. Parkway east and bound is a little bit slow right now between Edgewood, Swissvale, and the Squirrel Hill tunnels. With AAA traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Sunshine mixing with clouds as we head into the afternoon hours. It'll be very cold with a high just 14. Quite cold tonight under partly to mostly cloudy skies, low 9 above. Tomorrow, clouds and some sun, not so cold, the high 28. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
So, the best food in this area is in Oakmont right now. The Lot at Edgewater, the Pub at 333, Hofstadt's, Michael A's, Vinny's Tavern, and the place that started it all, Carnivores. I'm telling you, folks, I've eaten at all of them, and my man J.K., the Oakmont Restaurant King, delivers nothing but the best. Oakmont, the best food, the best community. Check it out.
The voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Both sides have lost their minds with pardons. Biden pardoned everyone in America that had ever been accused of a crime. I'm exaggerating to make a point. What, 7,400 of them? Insane. Including his whole friggin' family that no one's been indicted, but in case they get indicted, which is also ignorant. And then Trump, what really irritated me and a lot of guys I know, this is a headline in an amazing column in the Wall Street Journal today. Trump pardons the January 6 cop beaters. Law and order, back the blue. What happened to that Republican Party? And I want to play this clip from Senator Tom Tillis, Republican. Listen to this. Important stuff. Listen.
Let me just get your thoughts on the pardons from President Trump regarding.
Yeah, I've got we're going through it now. Many of them probably was the right thing to do. They made a bad choice. But anybody who was convicted of assault on a police officer, I can't get there at all. I think it was a bad idea.
Are you worried that in terms of?
By the way, we can't have a story about pardons without talking about the nonsense that Biden did on his way out the door.
My follow-up question is, do you think the Senate needs to look at the power of the pardon for the presidency?
I think it's a legit question because we can't get into this cycle where presidents are, pardoning their friends, creating prospective pardons for charges that haven't even been applied. I don't think that's what the founding fathers had in mind when this ability to pardon was first vested in the executive branch.
By the way, that was a great interview. Walk and talk in the hallways of Congress with Republican Senator Tom Tillis. Spot on. One of my favorite people and a brilliant attorney and actually a good friend who I love, David Hickton, joining us, former U.S. attorney. Good morning, David. How are you?
Good morning, Marty. How are you?
Your perspective, has this system gone haywire with parties on both sides, sir, doing this?
Yeah, I would not make them equivalent, but I am unhappy with both Presidents Biden and Trump, and I couldn't say it any better than Senator Tillis just said it. I don't think that's the way the pardon power was created, envisioned, and I think we're speeding towards disaster if we continue on the path we're on.
Tell me why, sir, because I think you're spot on.
Well, I don't think we want to politicize the criminal justice system, and people make those charges all the time. But we know from our training as young children that we have three co-equal branches of government, and the court system is separate and to be as powerful. And we do not want the executive branch to be able to be on top of the court system. I may disagree with the result in a particular case, but I respect the process always. And I have found over my 40-year career that on balance, particularly with a jury system, the common sense of the American people using our great American legal system usually gets to the right result. But more importantly, I think we need to recognize that criminal cases have two purposes. One is to punish the offender, and the second is to send a message to others who might do the same thing that they better not do that. And I think the question that we need to ask with respect to the people who assaulted police officers on January 6th is, after yesterday, is it more or less likely that that embarrassing day is going to happen again?
I know a bunch of cops, and they say to me, and by the way, there is no more significant law and order guy than Dave Hickton when he was U.S. Attorney. It was a pleasure to sit at his news conferences because he went after the bad guys and feels if it's very important. The message it sends to cops is, we don't care about you. Does it not, sir?
I think that's true. I think that it's important to say that no matter how strongly the people who went to the Capitol on January 6th felt about their position, that they crossed the line when they engaged in violence and broke the law, and especially when they assaulted the police officers who exist to protect us. And so, I mean, there's no real comparison to this, but, you know, every day we go through circumstances, including watching NFL football games where we disagree with those entrusted with making the decisions, but we don't assault the referee, and we don't attack the people that we entrust with our legal system. I can make the case, and in fact, I'd be happy to make this case. I thought the prosecution of Donald Trump in New York was ridiculous. I didn't think it had a good legal background. I thought it was politically unwise and foolish. And if I had been the prosecutor, I would have not brought it. However, that's my opinion. The fact is, the case was charged. The case was decided by citizens like you and me who sat on the jury. And the proper way to deal with that decision, just like the 2020 election, is through the legal system, not through taking self-help and engaging in violence, and certainly not beating up police officers who are there to protect those among us.
Former U.S. Attorney David Hickton, I'll tell you what blows me away. All of those prosecutors in the Justice Department who spent years on this, are they discouraged, sir? Are they defeated, sir? What's the message it sends to them?
I think they are, but I don't think that that's really the question, because I think every day the people who work on cases as career prosecutors recognize that the case may or may not be brought by the person who gets to make the decision about whether to bring it. If it's brought, the jury may or may not agree with them. If they win the case at trial, the appeals court may or may not agree with them. So people who are career prosecutors understand that they do their work and they let the decision makers make the decisions. But in this instance, this is particularly extraordinary. This was an assault on our democracy. It was an effort for literally the first time to reverse what we consider to be sacred, the peaceful transfer of power. And again, I would say, I understand that the people who did this felt very strongly. But the question is, where are we going to draw the line, and where do we direct them to direct their grievance? And it certainly is not in anybody's interest to countenance assaulting the police. And 400 of those that were pardoned yesterday assaulted the police. But as you said early, I think the expansion of this presidential pardon power has been done by both President Biden and President Trump. I looked back. I think George Washington did 16 pardons.
Wow.
During the Civil War, Abraham Lincoln did 400 pardons. Gerald Ford, who's the author of the most famous pardon, the pardon of Richard Nixon, did less than 500, including many who evaded the draft in Vietnam. Joe Biden did 8,064 pardons. Donald Trump only did 200 so when he was president the first time. He's now up to 2,000, basically. And I just don't think that anyone legally or as a matter of convention expects that our legal system is going to be adjudicated ultimately by a president who was not party to the case and who has, with the sweep of a pen, the ability to undo all the work of the prosecutors, all the work of the jury, all the work of the judges, all the work of the appellate courts, and so forth. That's not how our system is built.
Hey, I got to ask you, you're spot on, man. This is fantastic. I wish I could have written this brilliance, but it is exactly how I feel, sir. What the hell is are you kind of blown away by Biden pardoning his whole family that hasn't been indicted or investigated? Is that unusual in your book?
It is. That, those are sort of preemptive pardons. Yep. Look, a pardon under the law is described in the law as an act of grace. As a matter of convention, it's never been completely clear that you had to be convicted or admit your guilt, but it was always implied that if you had a pardon, that you were being relieved of criminal conduct. And, pardons are different than clemency, which are different than commutations. Commutation is taking a sentence and ending it early. Clemency is relieving you of a prosecution, and pardon is relieving you of the penalty for what you did. So it implies that there had to be a penalty, that you did something. And generally, we seek contrition by the person who receives the pardon. So yes, what happened at the end of the Biden administration was deeply disappointing to me, but it is totally different, I must say, than violent offenders who beat up cops.
I agree, sir. David Hickton, what a great pleasure. Thank you for being you, sir. Incredibly honest and spot on. Appreciate you, David.
Thank you, Marty.
Man, amazing. Amazing. From the P.J. Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser. Ellen Gamble, what's up?
All right, Marty, we have a couple of accidents out there as you try to roll around for the midday-ish of Wednesday. Accident on Island Avenue at Bouquet Street and McKees Rocks is in the final stages of clearing. We have an accident reported now. This one just in Jefferson Hills on Coal Valley Road near the intersection with State Route 51 in that area. No major delays on your parkways as you try to head into town. Parkway North, I-279 and 79 are rolling well at their split, and 79 heading up toward Cranberry. No problems for you right now. With AAA traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
This traffic report sponsored by Robert Half.
All the news you need for your day and the sports, music, and podcasts you love are all on the free Odyssey app. Download now.
The county just requested more electric charging stations.
Orders have really amped up at Able Electric.
We need 3 more at First in Maine, and we just got another hotel chain.
It's no shock. Able Electric needs able electricians.
Grocery store wants charging stations, too.
And fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay. Things people love.
You know what I love? The punchki. Oakmont Bakery's punchkis. Delicious. Strawberry cream, cherry, raspberry, blueberry, Pittsburgh cream, Oakmont cream, lemon, maple bacon, cookies and cream, apple cinnamon, peanut butter. The punchki rocks. You got to try the punchki at Oakmont Bakery. Handmade, homemade, unbelievable treat at Oakmont Bakery right now. You know what I say about punchki? They're delicious. Oakmont Bakery rocks.
Window Nation customers have been singing our praises for years. With fast, local service and an industry-leading 96% customer satisfaction rating, it's no wonder.
I researched window companies for the last year to see what the average prices were and the quality of work. Window Nation nailed both.
Get 50% off all windows, plus no interest or payments for 2 years. Hurry, this offer ends soon. Schedule a free estimate now. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com. That's 866-90-NATION.
When you buy appliances, they break. It's just the truth. Check this out. Voss TV and Appliance. They have their own crews, their own folks, techs that fix this stuff, and they're magnificent. Here's the other thing about Voss. Our dishwasher broke. They got a new dishwasher in our house within a week and a half. In this marketplace, in crazy weather, during crazy times. Voss TV and Appliance, 412-650-VOSS, 412-650-VOSS.
9 out of 10 hiring managers are having difficulty hiring. Robert Half is here to help. Our recruiting professionals utilize an award-winning AI to connect businesses with highly skilled talent. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
Pittsburgh is home to a lot of great people and great local businesses, and we're proud to be one of them.
Hi, John, Maggie, and Justin Schmutzer here from Metropolitan Window Company, Pittsburgh's locally owned and family-operated window company for over 45 years.
If you're looking to replace your old, worn-out windows with new energy-efficient ones, then consider buying from a hometown business like us.
We're passionate about enhancing the beauty and efficiency of Pittsburgh homes using the top-of-the-line replacement windows, like our exclusive Infinity from Marvin 100% fiberglass windows.
They're the strongest, longest-lasting, best insulating windows you can buy. They're way better than vinyl.
And right now, you can save 20% plus get no-interest financing on every window and door product we offer.
Experience the difference of buying from a locally owned, family-operated company.
Stop by one of our showrooms or visit us on the web at metropolitanwindows.com.
Or give us a call at 412-655-8411. PA 1565.
Honey, I found the perfect place for my parents and us.
Where?
St. Barnabas. For us, the Woodlands Carriage Home Community. And for my parents, condominium-style living at the Village. My folks will love the Village. There's an indoor mall with shops, restaurants, and more. And we can relax, knowing they're safe and secure.
That's what I plan to do when we move to St. Barnabas. Relax.
Call 724-444-5568 or visit stbarnabascommunities.com.
A trial is 99% preparation, and nobody prepares better than us. Get the good guys, Goodrich and Geist.
UPMC, life-saving, life-changing information. Amazing.
Everything you need, every time you listen. 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
Insane interview with Bob Hickton. David, here's my money. I got Bob Garvin on hold. David Hickton, amazing. Wow. Wall Street Journal. Republicans are busy denouncing President Biden's preemptive pardons for his family and political allies, and deservedly so. But then it's a shame you don't hear many, if any, ruining President Trump's proclamation to pardon unconditionally nearly all those people who rioted January 6th. This includes those convicted of bludgeoning, chemical spraying, and electroshocking police to try to keep Mr. Trump in power. This is a rotten message from a president about political violence done on his behalf, and it's bait and switch. Fantastic stuff. Let me read a couple of these. Daniel Rodriguez, sentenced to 151 months, freed, who can be seen on video deploying an electroshock weapon against a policeman who was dragged on to the defensive line by plunging it into an officer's neck. Wow. The night before, he promised in a MAGA chat group, there will be blood. William Lewis, given 37 months, sprayed streams of wasp and hornet killer spray at multiple police officers on 4 distinct occasions, forcing several to seek treatment for their eyes. James Easterday blasted a cop in the face with pepper spray at point-blank range, after which the officer collapsed and temporarily lost consciousness, which enabled rioters to steal his baton. Thomas Castleman hit multiple officers in the face with pepper spray. He later internet searched the statute of limitations for assault on a police officer. Curtis Davis punched 2 police officers in the head, filmed a video of his fist in which he bragged, them knuckles right there, from one of those MFers' faces at the Capitol. Wow. Ronald Maccabee hit a cop while wearing reinforced brass knuckle gloves. which he swung over his head and downward at a police officer as if he were chopping wood. Wow. Wow. Another officer assaulted the officer who caused a concussion. He was also freed. One of my favorite people on earth and an amazing cop, Bob Garvin.
Good morning. Good morning, Marty.
All of this assault, all of this attack on cops, and all of those folks freed today. You have varying opinions about this. Jump in here, please.
I just sat there in awe. I have a lot of respect for Mr. Hickman.
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
I've actually had cases with him.
Big fan.
I agree with every single point he said on it. The only issue I have is, as a police officer, I bet you I talked to 50 cops in the last 2 days about it.
Sure.
Yeah, there's no way, either if you're Biden, Trump, that these pardons should have went through. It's an insult to the criminal justice system.
It is.
The problem police officers have, it's not a surprise to us.
No, it's true.
The chances of prosecutors, you get beat up on the street, stabbed, and the chances of you file the charges and the prosecutor carrying them through is very minimal because it clouds up the case, they say, in many cases, unless the officer's really hurt. So it isn't really a surprise that they would release somebody for beating up a cop in the riots that we had in that same time frame. I mean, you even saw it here in Pittsburgh. So it's not equal justice is the biggest problem.
Sure.
So police, we have no faith in either, Republican, Democrat, Martian.
No, I get it.
Because they're there to support politics.
I completely get it. Everything he's saying is spot on. And I don't know what to tell you other than you're right.
Marty, nobody knows the answer now. This is just, it was never meant to be this way.
As one of my boys...
I'll give you a good example. When a cop, the fire yesterday on that bus, did you had that amazing...
oh, my gosh, with him coughing and saving lives, yeah.
Did you hear him say how many Republicans are on there? How many Democrats are on there first?
No.
What color are the people? What nation do they come from? No. And that's the justice system. Equal justice, equal enforcement doesn't exist.
You're my man. You're the best.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED, because millions of men experience it. Did you know that 1 in 4 people seeking treatment for ED are under 40? So you're not alone. And even better, HIMS can help. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/joy. It all starts with an online intake form. From there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. Through hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Millions of men experience ED, but HIMS can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
From the Aetna Medicare Solutions Studio.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
4 degrees, partly cloudy skies at 11:30. I'm Paul Rasmussen. Our newsroom has compiled a list of frigid weather information, including closures, forecasts, preventing frostbite, keeping pets safe, dealing with and preventing frozen pipes, using space heaters safely, and what types of snowmelt work best in which conditions. It's all on one page right now at KDKAradio.com. There had long been talk about a plan to build 100 homes in Larimer through an expansion project in Bakery Square, but right now that project appears to be losing steam. Todd Reedboard is president of Walnut Capital.
I think the community groups seem somewhat frustrated and reached out to us and to the city and said, let's start getting on with it. I don't know that there's any specific thing that's going wrong. It's just that the pace of approvals and meetings and things has just slowed significantly.
He says the mayor's office seems to be dragging its feet on the project.
We need to see leadership. We need to see the mayor's office really put its arms around this project and say, we're going to drag it forward on our backs and we're going to move this thing forward. And we just haven't seen that that yet.
Reed Ward was a guest on the Big K Morning Show. A settlement agreement has been approved to reopen Sharon Regional Medical Center. With that story, News Radio KDKA's Tamira Rush.
A Mercer County judge signed off on a deal Tuesday in which the state agreed to drop its claim against Medical Properties Trust, Inc. over past promises made to maintain Sharon Regional Medical Center. The Pennsylvania Attorney General reached an agreement with the owner of the medical center's real estate, which allows the hospital to reopen in the coming days under the ownership of Tenor Health Foundation. Sharon Regional closed its doors on January 6, leaving 850 employees out of work. The settlement will allow the hospital to reopen as a nonprofit for the first time since 2014. Tamira Rush, News Radio, KDKA.
On Wall Street, the Dow is right now up 112 points at 44,138. The NASDAQ is up 270 points, and the S&P is up 46. KDKA Radio News Time, 11:32. Our next update at noon on the Voice of Pittsburgh. News Radio, KDKA.
If better health, more energy, and detoxing your body are some of your priorities this year, get Active Liver today. You can find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS or online at Amazon or newnordicusa.com.
Hey, folks, this morning I want to talk about my favorite family-owned construction business, the three cousins at C&S Cousins Construction. Local guys, Sam, Steve, Calvin. They keep working right now through the winter months. If you're looking to winterproof your home, new windows, doors, siding, even a beautiful new outdoor living space built in time for summer, deck, porch, patio. Call them now. Just mention Get Marty. 10% off your entire project. C&S Cousins Construction. 989-COUSINS. 989-COUSINS.
Hi, I'm Ken Mears, founder of Great Healthworks, the maker of Omega XL. Folks, if you're searching for an answer to your daily aches, pains, and soreness, then try Omega XL. It's a natural product sourced from a green lip mussel. This oil extract is one of the most powerful, natural, joint relief super oils in the world. This one-of-a-kind extract is not found in any other product, and it's backed by over 40 years of clinical research, showing that Omega XL provides relief from joint pain due to inflammation. Stop living in pain. Inflammation is controllable, it's manageable, and it's fixable. Importantly, Omega XL is small, easy to swallow, with no fishy aftertaste. And it works. We've put over 20 years into this quality brand, ensuring that Omega XL makes a difference in your life. Try it, and you won't be disappointed.
Call now for Omega XL's BOGO special. 800-725-2090. That's less than $20 a bottle. Remember, there's a 60-day money-back guarantee. Terms apply. 800-725-2090. 800-725-2090. Or OmegaXL.com/news.
Hey, folks, it's Marty. Medicare is most confusing the first time you enroll, whether you have a 65th birthday upcoming or you're looking to finally retire. That's why I love MediConnect, a team of Pittsburghers that can speak Medicare in a language you can understand, so you can be confident you got the right coverage. They work with every insurance company around here, and there is never a fee. I'm serious. 888-818-6334. MediConnectInsurance.com.
Vacations begin here at the Pittsburgh Travel Showcase, presented by AAA Travel. More than a show, it's a global travel extravaganza, January 24th through the 26th at the David Lawrence Convention Center. It's your savings ticket with convenient one-stop shopping. Meet top travel representatives. Book your next vacation on the spot. There's exclusive discounts, expert destination speakers, motor coach trips, and a travel store. Dream it, plan it, book it, experience it. Tickets at PittsburghTravelShowcase.com, where your adventure is waiting for you.
From the PJ Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser. Ellen Gamble was.
We finally have a little bit of good news is what's up here, Marty, as we almost make it to the noon hour on a Wednesday. We just spoke with state police, and they have said the 28 near the Saxonburg Route 908 exit in Harrison Township between Freeport and Tarentum's exits has reopened. It was closed due to earlier icy conditions on the bridge that carries 28 over Route 908, so some good news for you there. Accident in Jefferson Hills. Crews continue to work on that on Cole Valley Road at State Route 51. Parkway East outbound has a little bit of a delay right past that Squirrel Hill Homestead exit. The inbound ride toward the Squirrel Hill tunnels is fine. Parkway West just has some bunching right around the Banksville on-ramp before the Fort Pitt tunnels. With AAA traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Sunshine mixing with clouds and very cold this afternoon with a high just 14. Partly to mostly cloudy and very cold tonight, low 9. For tomorrow, clouds and some sun and not so cold for the afternoon, high 28. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Attention! Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-580-7766. 800-580-7766. That's 800-580-7766.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
Wednesday, middle of the week, still freezing cold. Courts are closed, schools closed, things are closed. It is what it is. Stay warm. Colin Dunlap, 2 to 6 today, right here, KDK.
Completely unrelated, but we talk about public works in Pittsburgh all the time. Did anyone out there see that friggin' public works truck in the city just with the wheels that fell off? My God, man. More of that later. Public Works did inform me this morning they got 2,000 tons of salt, so they're hooked up. But it doesn't have magnesium in it. What's the temperature salt quits working at, Patrick?
20 degrees.
Oops. What's the temperature now?
5.
Oops. Oops. That happened on Meridell Street in the First Division. Did you see that? Did you see that truck?
No, I didn't see it.
Oh, my gosh. Just laying in the street, Patrick. No back wheels. You got to have back wheels for the truck to work, apparently. Talking about pardons. It's fascinating. David Hicken was amazing. Speaking of amazing, one of my favorite people and actually a good friend who doesn't admit it because people hate me. Jimmy Motznick, my man. What's up, Judge?
How are you, sir?
Great, my man. How long have we known each other?
Oh, close to 30 years.
Since we were kids.
Yeah.
Your immediate reaction, actually, your reaction was spot on, and I hear this every day, to the conversation about Trump releasing all these people who beat the hell out of cops, and I read the details. Your reaction?
Yeah, and I heard the details, and then I heard the officer that was just on right before me.
Bob.
He was, Bob was surprised, and he was outraged, and he spoke to 50 other cops that were surprised and outraged. But let me tell you, Bob and those 50 cops that he talked to, they voted for Trump.
Oh, there's no question.
And absolutely. And the cops I talked to, and I love them to death.
You do, I know.
They vote for Trump.
They do.
My son-in-law is a police officer, and I love him to death, and he voted for Trump.
Let me say this, because I saw this, buddy, with the Teamsters, because I'm friends with their president, and I'm friends with a bunch of union guys and firefighters. They all voted for Trump. All of them. Well, 80+%.
I agree with that. And I'm not surprised. He said he was going to do it. He said he's letting them out. They're convicted felons. They assault police officers, and now they're on the street. And he thinks that's okay. And if you talk to these cops about it, they'll change the subject and talk about something else.
Or they'll point it back to Biden, that Biden sucks too. Right. Biden released a guy that was accused of killing 2 FBI agents 50 years ago. He did, actually.
Right. Yeah. I understand.
But
I'm not surprised.
Massive support of Trump by the men and women in blue. I don't know about the women as much, but definitely the men in blue.
Yeah. Every officer that I speak to, the sheriffs, we joke about it. Doesn't get in the way of my friendship and the trust that I have for them. And they're allowed to have their support anybody they want. But don't be surprised. I'm not surprised.
No.
I changed the channel. I just don't watch it anymore.
No. It's ironic. It actually is ironic.
Right.
Thanks, Judge. You're my man.
Hey, take care.
Yeah, my closest friends in this town are cops. I mean, there's a cop that I talk to, quite frankly, every day more than I talk to my wife. It's just the truth. He's an insane help to me. And he feels the same way. But he says what Garvin said. Look, man, no one respects us on both sides. It's true. It's true. Vicky, you've been so patient. Thank you, Vicky.
Hey, how are you doing?
Great.
Hey, I'm not surprised about these pardons.
No, I don't think any of us are. I think you're right. He said he was going to do it. He did it.
And the fact that he's getting away with, he was convicted felon, so why shouldn't everybody else be?
And Biden pardoned 8,000 people, which is kind of obnoxious.
That's true. But I am still really reeling from the fact that we elected a convicted felon. I don't understand it.
Well, he's incredibly popular right now. He just is. And by the way, I appreciate your call, but here's one thing I can tell you about Trump, and she mentioned it. He said he was going to do this. He did. If you're a Trump supporter, he's hitting home runs for you. He just is. I happen to be a cop guy because I've spent my career around cops, and I love them all. And they've been an insane asset to me. But the truth of the matter is that Trump let these people that beat the crap out of cops and wanted to kill them and maced cops and tased cops in their neck and hit cops with flags, and cops were having concussions. One cop ended up killing himself. They all walked. They did. One of my favorite Americans, Anthony. What's up, brother?
You know, I don't know why. They sound like the Casablanca, the movie Casablanca, when Claude Rains said there was gambling going on in his establishment. He sounded surprised. Why is anyone surprised? The folks that Donald Trump has given a pardon to were his minions who were doing his dirty work on January 6th.
True.
So, but
and by the way, to your point, brother, he said he was going to do it, and he did it.
And of course, well, that's why I tell the folks who dislike Trump, you can, but he's going to do what he says he's going to do. And the Oath Keepers and the Proud Boys, come on, man. These are racist nationalist groups.
Right on.
And I'm watching this television. He's going to invite them to the White House.
Yep.
I mean, this is outrageous.
Well, he called them hostages, brother.
But you know what? Here's the difference between Biden and Trump. I used to come on your station with an ex-host you guys had. I said 3 years ago Biden should pardon his son and his family because most people with common sense love you. If your child, no matter what they have done, if you had the pardon power, you were going to use it.
I know, man, but 8,000 pardons. Come on, brother.
Well, these were not, you know what? They've all shown abuse to the pardon system.
Right on. Come on.
All of them have.
Anthony, what the hell do these guys know about this stuff? It's what Hickton said. They have no background. They know nothing about the case. 8,000 people. Jesus.
Right. And he didn't have time to catch up. I mean, listen, Leonard Plantier should have never gotten out of prison. No. I mean, but he was a Native American who FBI raided. He kills two of them, and he's become a cost of land.
Yeah. Hey, guys were texting me yesterday, get your facts straight. This is an innocent man. Go to hell. He killed two FBI agents.
See, this is for people who weren't who weren't alive back then.
Right
I was. And he is not a bleeding heart liberal. He's a thug.
They turned him into a friggin' martyr, and Biden set him free.
Yeah, he did. That was wrong. But he doesn't give Michael Cohen a pardon, who we know Trump is going to go after. We know.
Well, there's that.
Thanks, man.
Oh, man. Unbelievable how good he is. From the PJ Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic powered by Bowser. Ellen Gamble, what's up?
All right, Marty. Well, earlier accident cleared in Jefferson Hills from Route 51 at Cole Valley Road, but watch for residual delays through that intersection. Not too many other delays on 51 as you head northbound toward the Liberty Tunnels, for example. Maybe you have to head into downtown that way at this hour, and things are just traffic light delays all the way along, even at the intersection with the Tubes and West Liberty Avenue, Route 19. Parkway West inbound, just a small step on the brakes for you as you head into the Fort Pitt Tunnels. Outbound ride toward the airport is a good one. Parkway East is a little slow, especially on the inbound ride right now. You're sluggish right at Edgewood Swissvale before those inbound Squirrel Hill tunnels. With AAA traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Did you know that now you can listen to all your favorite stations, including this one, shows, and even podcasts, all on the Odyssey app?
Look.
Download it now.
Look, this is the time of the year when you start seeing stuff around your windows because it gets wet, it gets icy, okay? So we have this bay window in the front of our house. It needs to be replaced. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do, man. I got to call Universal Windows Direct. Why? It's the holiday season. It's the new year. A lot going on. But what they're doing, folks, is they're offering this unbelievable special right now. Right now. They have the best windows, the best insulation, the best guarantees. Right now, every 2 windows you buy, you get 2 free. No limit. Buy 4, get 4 free. Okay? Buy 8, get 8 free. Also, 0% financing for 60 months. 5 years, folks, of interest-free payments. It's a great company. They have a great product. Universal Windows Direct. 412-545-6003. 412-545-6003. Free in-home estimate. It's a great company. Check it out.
Feel like everything's clouded by doubt? Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com. Our psychics are available to talk 24/7, and we guarantee if it's not life-changing, it's free. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
If you can plan barbecues and weddings, you can plan to protect yourself from a natural disaster. Sign up for local alerts, prepare an emergency kit, and make a family communications plan. Get started at ready.gov/plan.
Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother was saying he got life insurance from Ethos. With Ethos, it only took 10 minutes, and he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
It's the KDKA Radio High School Basketball Game of the Week, powered by Bowser Chevrolet. Every Friday at 6, we bring you the best players, the best sounds of the game, and the best matchups in the WPIAL. This week, Fox Chapel hosts Woodland Hills. Presented by Coons Quality Foods, the official store of high school basketball. Allegheny Health Network Sports Medicine, official sports medicine of high school basketball. Tobacco-free Adagio Health. And brought to you by Parmar Stores. If there isn't a Parmar store near you, there will be soon. Only on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Hi, Paul Alexander. Was your goal to lose weight this new year? If so, are you already down 19 pounds? That's a serious question because I dropped 19 pounds my first 3 weeks alone with Awaken 180 weight loss. That's how fast the weight can fall off when you choose the solution for weight loss. Each week, you look at the scale, and the number goes down and down. Every morning you wake up, and you feel better and better. For me, it was the weekly meetings with the coach. I was so excited, so of course, so was I. And given how easy Awaken 180 was, there's no way I wouldn't reach my goal, and I did. 35 pounds, totally thanks to Awaken 180, and I've kept the weight off ever since. The only weight loss program I know that puts their money where their mouth is. They're so confident in your success, they offer free support for life, a one-time investment in yourself for a lifetime of benefits. Online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Right now at Wendy's, get 2 of these fave items for just $7. The spicier classic chicken sandwich, Dave's single, or 10-piece nugs. It's an incredible deal, but an insanely difficult choice. Do you go double chicky sando, both spicy and classic, 1 beefy and 1 chicky? Or maybe you go all in on one and go Nug Max. 2 faves for just $7? Gotta be Wendy's.
At participating Wendy's for a limited time only. Select a request 2 for $7 deal to redeem. Not valid in a combo or with saucy nugs. Single item at regular price. Prices may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted a walk-up,
with central air and a skylight. And you found it. Now, every Friday night, you get to fall asleep to the sound of your downstairs neighbors' dance parties. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
And now for a business news update from the Pittsburgh Business Times. I'm managing editor Mike Larson. Cold weather and snow-covered roads have extended Restaurant Week. Last week, the twice-annual Restaurant Week returned to the city of Pittsburgh for its winter service for the New Dishes for the New Year event. The event's been held since 2012, providing diners with a special discounted meal at participating restaurants. Due to heavy snowfall last week, some of the participating restaurants have elected to keep the week going for a second one. Diners are still encouraged to make reservations, mention the event to their servers, and tip generously. A full list of the restaurants still participating are available on the Pittsburgh Business Times website. Also, Maris, a moniker that blends the words merit and us, is the new name of a development firm that's been one of the busiest in western Pennsylvania in recent years. That would be the now former Al Nair, the Cincinnati-based design-build development firm that has put up industrial projects in all corners of the region and is now embarking on multifamily projects as well. The company went live with the new name yesterday, a rebranding for a company that's 130 years old and rebranding 10 years after it shifted to an employee stock ownership plan structure. For more on these stories and other local business news, log on to PittsburghBusinessTimes.com. I'm Mike Larson.
Everything you need, every time you listen. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Hictor was amazing. He nailed it, man. There's a ridiculousness to these. I mean, here's the thing I thought about this morning before Hictor even mentioned this is that what the hell's Biden know about 8,000 people he pardoned or commuted their sentences? Nothing. There is no friggin' way, man. And that's why I find this whole process to be frightening. It's out of control, man. And they got to do something to put some limits on it. Come on, man. 8,000 people. Come on. Come on. And it's always been political, but it's really political now. I know a guy here who was pardoned, and people would say he bought his way out of it, making big donations to candidates and campaigns, and was pardoned. Okay. But 8,000. Mike, we have lost our minds. Man. Bob, go ahead, man. Thanks for hanging in there.
Right. The thing that bothers me the most, Marty, is the idea, because where are we going as a country?
Right.
Speaking like you're a police officer, you know you voted for a convicted felon. You got a convicted felon like it went out there that can pardon like all these guys who try to, or guys who try to go, they can overthrow our country. Yep. Now, what I asked the cops like when I see them in a bar, one simple question I asked them is this. How do you expect me to respect you like when you can't even respect the laws of this country?
Oh, I don't get into that. I love the cops. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm confused. I don't know what you mean. I'm not going to fight with you today. I have no interest. I've said this 1,000 times. I have 8,000 friends, man. I have 4,000 that voted for Trump, 4,000 that voted for Biden. They're still my really close friends. That kind of stuff, man, I don't get into those weeds. And I've said it on this show, and it's aggravated some of my more liberal friends that are annoyed that I've been supportive of what Trump has done. Okay, if you're annoyed, so be it. But what it has done is it has the country feeling good about itself, and I'm cool with that. I mean, that stuff yesterday with this Japanese companies investing $500 billion, that's legit, man. I watched the entire newser. I'm sorry, but I can't say that's a bad thing for America. I just can't. And the guy flat out said, we wouldn't have done this if you weren't the president. So I'm not going to get caught up in the I hate Trump campaign. I could spend the next year on Biden in the faux pas. And Biden's the one that did this, created this madness. And preemptive pardoning half of his friggin' family is just bizarre. All of it. So if there's someone out there who in some way is trying to put a rein in on these presidents who are just willy-nilly doing this, so be it. And I love it. You know what we're going to do in the next hour? We're going to go live to New Orleans. My man Patrick, how long did you live there?
2 years.
Did you ever have 10 inches of snow?
No, but I did have one of the rare snowfalls while I was there.
But 10 inches. It never happened in the history of New Orleans.
No, 3 inches when I lived there, but that was extremely rare.
And they can't manage it like they couldn't manage it in Dallas. My sis, Maria, has a place right on the beach in Destin. And did you see some of that video?
Yeah, it's amazing. Wow.
She just sent me a picture. They have a deck in their condo in Destin, and there's a snowman on the deck. It's unheard of. We're going to talk to a guy who's in New Orleans, and I posted a video. I guess it was from his backyard, his kids playing in 10 inches of snow. As Patrick said, who lived there, and I lived in Dallas, and when they had snow, they went nuts, berserko. Patrick, they lose their minds when they get this kind of weather. They cannot manage any of it.
They're not prepared for it because they never get it.
Right on.
They don't have salt trucks. They don't have salt, period.
You think our public works has problems? They don't have public works. You got to hear this interview next.
The KDKA mobile news fleet is driven by Jim Shorkey Kia, North Huntington, Wexford, and Uniontown. Visit Shorkey Kia today.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the perfect place for mom.
Rob Pierce is one of the go-to guys anywhere in America when it comes to anything involving damages, injuries. For instance, he's representing a significant number of folks who have been harmed by using these new miracle drugs, as they're called. Right? Ozempic. Last week I called Rob Pierce about a woman who's having a very difficult time with a trust, has a very difficult time with her family. Rob Pierce handled it. If there's a medical malpractice case, Robert Pierce and his firm handle it. They will give you a free consultation. One of the most engaged, one of the most active attorneys and law practices I've ever seen in my career. Medical malpractice, personal injury, fantastic, fantastic law firm, Robert Pierce and Associates, 412-214-7477, 412-214-7477.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call
800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
KDKA and KDKA FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare Solutions Studio.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
8 degrees now. Cloudy skies at 12 o'clock. I'm Paul Rasmussen. Today's low temperature of 7 below zero at Pittsburgh International is the coldest in nearly 10 years. In fact, the last time it was colder was in February of 2015 when the reading was 9 below. Today, Allegheny County offices will be partially closed, so non-essential employees can work from home. All divisions of the Court of Common Pleas, Magisterial District Courts, and Pittsburgh Municipal Court are closed again today. And as was the case yesterday, Arraignment Court is open. Essential services are operational. The coroner has been called to a Washington County apartment complex. Fire crews were sent around 8 a.m. to the Thomas Campbell Apartments in the 800 block of Beach Street in South Strabane Township. The flames reportedly broke out on the 4th floor of a senior living facility. No specifics yet, though, on any deaths or casualties. Former U.S. Attorney David Hickton is reacting to the thousands of pardons, some highly controversial, recently issued by both presidents. Hickton told KDKA's Marty Griffin a short time ago he's concerned the criminal justice system is being politicized at the expense of the separation of powers in the three branches of government.
And the court system is separate and to be as powerful. And we do not want the executive branch to be able to be on top of the court system.
Hickton, who now heads the Pitt Institute for Cyber Law, Policy and Security, also said with the jury system, the common sense of the American people usually gets to the right result. President Trump's promise to crack down on illegal immigration has people flooding the phone lines at a local law firm. With that story, News Radio KDKA's Tamira Rush.
Allegheny immigration attorney Patrick Murphy tells me right now there's just desperation and chaos.
People are concerned about their status. They're concerned about getting caught up in whatever's about to happen. They're concerned about being deported, separated from their loved ones, maybe in some cases the countries they don't even know anymore.
He gives a few steps necessary if one is approached by law enforcement or an ICE agent.
If they don't have a warrant, you don't have to open the door for them. If they tell you they have a warrant, make them show it to you. Put it under the door or show it at the window. You have a right to not answer questions. You have a right to ask for a lawyer.
Murphy says flyers will be distributed around the Mon Valley area and on social media sites to help educate the public. Tamira Rush, News Radio, KDKA.
The Allegheny County Sheriff's Office is out with a warning about a new scam today. Here's News Radio KDKA's David Ballarado.
The phone call starts like this.
The following is a recorded message from the Allegheny County Sheriff's Office. Good morning. This is Lieutenant James Perry calling from the Allegheny
Then the message goes on to tell you about a missing federal court appointment last Friday, and you must reach out to them to reschedule. They provide a phone number, an email address, and a website, but as the Sheriff's Office points out, the website ends with .org and not .gov. The Sheriff's Office says there is no Lieutenant James Perry in the department, and they would never ask for any payment in any form of cryptocurrency or through Venmo or Zelle. David Ballarado, News Radio, KDKA.
On Wall Street, the Dow is up 107 points at 44,133. The Nasdaq is up 302, and the S&P up 49 points. KDKA Sports, one college basketball game on the schedule. Youngstown State will be hosting Robert Morris tonight. The Pens have a night off during their 7-game road trip. They'll play Anaheim tomorrow night. The news is brought to you by P.J. Fitzpatrick. Need a new roof or just want to repair a small leak? Trust PJ.com. KDKA Radio News Time 12:04. 7 degrees now. Cloudy in Pittsburgh. The AccuWeather forecast next.
It's 2025, and it's time to get your home zero-resified by calling your cleaning heroes at Zero Res. Take 24% off all services for this month when you call 412-701-1188 or book online anytime at ZeroResPGH.com.
I'm here for PJ Fitzpatrick. I've got to tell you, don't go with just any guy to replace your roof. Choose PJ Fitzpatrick. Why choose the B team when you could get the A team from PJ Fitzpatrick? Trust PJ Fitzpatrick to get your roof done right with a lifetime guarantee on materials and labor. PJ Fitzpatrick has thousands of 5-star reviews and over 40 years of experience. Plus, they can install most roofs in one day. Visit trustpj.com today to set up a free design consultation and take advantage of the fall promotions.
Recently lost your health insurance and need expert advice? Dina Schmid, founder of One Health Benefits, has been connecting people with the right choice in healthcare benefits for over 2 decades. Dina provides the best options for your needs while making sure you're well covered. And there's never a fee for Dina's services. Call One Health Benefits today, 724-799-8873. That's 724-799-8873. Learn more at onehealthbenefits.com.
In the U.S., there are about 60 million adults 65 and older. And last year, nearly 1 million of them were hospitalized due to flu, COVID, or RSV. That's nearly 1 million people who planned to go visit family or see friends, but ended up in the hospital instead. So get this season's vaccines, and don't let flu, COVID, or RSV make you just another number.
Risk less. Do more. Get started at vaccines.gov. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why, when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million+ products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
By now, you've heard all of our ads. America's largest injury law firm. But what does that really mean for our clients, for you? It means that when you hire us, you don't just get a lawyer, you get a legal army, almost 800 lawyers alone. That army includes an entire legal team, specialist lawyers, investigators, and a 24/7 client satisfaction staff. Just like if you were going into surgery, you wouldn't trust one person to handle the paperwork, the scheduling, the anesthesia, and the surgery. Have you ever seen a surgeon operating alone and without resources? No way. Why would you trust a small firm with your case? Your case is a big deal to us. When it comes to law, size matters. We're America's largest injury law firm, Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Sunshine mixing with clouds and very cold this afternoon with a high just 14. Partly to mostly cloudy and very cold tonight, low 9. For tomorrow, clouds and some sun and not so cold for the afternoon, high 28. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Water damage to your home or business? Don't know what to do next? At ServiceMaster of Greater Pittsburgh, we do. Demand the yellow van.
Demand the yellow van. Call ServiceMaster. Where Pittsburgh comes to talk. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
I lived in Dallas and Los Angeles and Oklahoma. Never saw a snowstorm in Los Angeles or Oklahoma. Oklahoma, I was physically in a couple tornadoes, including a Category 5, which is insane. Never saw anything like snow in Cali. In Dallas, yeah. But they had no capacity to manage it. It was insane. If they got 2 inches of snow and especially ice, as Patrick mentioned when he lived in New Orleans, they have no capacity, they have no plows, they have no salt. In Dallas, they would throw down this sand, which you literally be on what would be the equivalent of the parkways, except they have 8 million people. And you see these clouds of dust. It was gross and disgusting, and it never, ever worked. Meantime, Chris, what's up? How are you, Chris?
I'm kind of cozy and comfortable considering in my home, but that's about it. We're landlocked right now, or homebound, if you will, and waiting to see what kind of capacity the city has for clearing streets, because now we're in that beautiful 12 inches of soft, powdery snow.
Come on, man.
Which is unheard of, right? In my lifetime, I'm almost 70. I've seen snow 3 times and 2 to 3 inches of kind of wet, moist snow for a day. This is like I've seen skiing in Colorado, a good foot of soft powder, really dry. It's gorgeous outside now, but
Chris, tell our listeners before we go on, tell them exactly where you're at and what happened. When did this start?
So I'm in downtown New Orleans, Louisiana. I'm a restaurateur. I work for a large restaurant group, so we have restaurants in the French Quarter and all over the city.
Nice.
And we have a large convention in town, the NADA, the National Auto Dealers, one of the biggest we get on occasion. So they're all stuck in our hotels.
Oh my goodness!
And the city is essentially, shut down. All schools are closed. All city operations are closed. The problem is going to clearly be. I was listening to you talking about Dallas. Dallas gets a lot more cold weather than we do here in New Orleans. So it's really unusual for us. And And our problem stems from no one really having the experience or the ability to drive on ice. Ice becomes a real challenge for pedestrians and automobiles in this city.
And Chris, they have no magnesium, they have no calcium chloride, they have no salt, nothing, right?
No, I understand they've loaded a bunch of dump trucks with sand. I heard what you were saying. Now, I can give credit to the city for once. They stayed a little ahead, and they had a dozen snowplows driven in from Indianapolis 2 days ago. And that's what we're all curious about, Will, because right now everything's shut down, the entire city, but we're trying to get open for tomorrow for business.
Hey, man, what do your kids think about this?
Oh, my grandkids.
Yeah, sorry.
Like my kids and grandkids around the city, they're having a ball. You know, there's snow days off of school, and they're out in the yards building snowmen, which no one has ever been able to really do here before. So, I mean, it's really fun right now. Now, when it melts and we turn into this black ice and ice. That's what we're concerned about. That's when
is it supposed to break, Chris? When are you hearing you're going to get a break in this, a little warm air?
We go above. The sun's really bright outside now. Yesterday was amazing, right? It was a 6 to 7 hour heavy snowfall, just nonstop, which was amazing to watch, right? And it was the longest duration we've ever seen in the history of the city, and it was really cool. And no power outages, which is what they were afraid of, any mass power outages. So that all went well. But they're saying now the sun's out really bright. It's going to get above freezing in a little while. It's about, 11 o'clock our time now. And by 2 o'clock, we're going to get above freezing. And with this sunlight, it's going to start melting that soft powder. And then overnight, it drops well down into the 20s again. So it's going to freeze. It's going to hard freeze that ice. And we're all just waiting to see.
Wow, man. Do you like it? What do you think, Chris?
I mean, it's amusing. One thing about living in New Orleans is we're not familiar with natural disasters. Everything from our recent terrorist attack to hurricanes, of course, et cetera, et cetera. And, with Katrina and multiple. So these kinds of.
My man, hold on. I'm watching a guy. We're streaming this live. I'm watching a guy literally physically ski down Bourbon Street. It's wild.
Yeah. They had some people in Bourbon Street. And I noticed it really didn't seem that deep in the French Quarter.
It didn't, but it was
in
ice.
The streets. But it was ice, right? Yep. So that should be amusing. Yeah, and then we've got people sliding down the street in sleds and so on. So, it's a one of a kind. So.
You're over it. I can tell you're like me, man. You're over it. All right, move it on.
Yeah, well, we're stuck in the house, you know, and I'm ready to get out, and I've got a lot of business to take care of. So,
Chris,
so
it's good stuff, man. Thank you, man. I love the stuff. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate you, man.
My pleasure. Take care.
So my sis Maria has a place in Destin, and she started posting videos for the family last night. It's kind of wild because we've stayed there. Gorgeous white sand. So you think that's just the sand. No, it's snow. And her good friend Cinda is there right now in Destin. Hi, Cinda.
Hello, Marty.
How are you?
Oh, I'm good. Just looking at the beautiful white sand / snow, and everything is closed on here.
So is that your snowman that my sis posted?
It's actually not. It was one of the ones I found on the beach.
Wow. How wild is this? When did this happen, Cinda?
I think it was about 4 o'clock yesterday we started getting the ice and snow.
Come on.
It was crazy. It just was hitting everywhere, and the wind was blowing. We were actually in the hot tub and ended up getting out of there just in time. But it's still really icy out there, dangerous to walk and drive.
Have you ever seen anything like this there in Destin?
I have not. Yeah. The only thing I seen white was the sand.
Yeah. And you're from Pittsburgh, right?
Correct.
So you're thinking, what the hell's going on here? I've moved here to escape this crap.
Absolutely. We came down as snowbirds to get rid of the white stuff, and now we're getting more of it. It's following us.
Hey, Cinda, do they have any capacity to handle any of this down there?
No.
None. No way.
Nope. They closed all the restaurants and bridges yesterday, and people are sled riding on the bridges, and they have all the restaurants are closed again today, and they closed the schools for the rest of the week.
Man, when's this supposed to end? Warm up?
I think in 2 days. So I think today it's going to melt, but it's going to refreeze tonight. And then after that, it's going to start warming up a little bit each day. So hopefully in a couple days, it'll all be gone.
Cinda, have you driven around at all?
No, but my husband went out and took a walk today, and he's the one that took a bunch of the pictures.
Help me with something. Because it's usually chilly there this time of year in that part of Florida, but nothing like this. Are there people there on vacation who wanted to get away to the beach?
Oh, yeah. They're actually walking the beach, believe it or not. But, yeah, there's people here that every year they come down this time of the year.
You know what my mom would say? My mom would say, you could still get a tan in this.
Yeah, you know what? The sun is out.
See?
The sun is out, that's for sure. At least that's the good part.
See?
Yeah. Yeah. I know, it's crazy.
Krista, thank you, Cinda. You're the best.
Okay. Take care, Marty.
Yeah. Wow.
Uh-huh.
Wow. I would hate that. Your vacation plans to Destin and you got a friggin' snowman on your balcony. But the one point I wanted to make, and Chris made it, and so did Cinda, and I've seen it, and so has Patrick. We whine about snowplows here and salt trucks and all this stuff, and it's fair. However, they have no clue and no capacity to do anything there but wait for it to melt. And folks, that sucks.
All the news you need for your day and the sports, music, and podcasts you love are all on the free Odyssey app. Download now.
The county just requested more electric charging stations.
Orders have really amped up at Able Electric.
We need 3 more at First and Main, and we just got another hotel chain.
It's no shock. Able Electric needs able electricians.
Grocery store wants charging stations, too.
And fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the...
Designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your...
Windshield wipers. eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay. Things people love.
When you buy appliances, they break. It's just the truth. Check this out. Voss TV and Appliance, they have their own crews, their own folks, techs that fix this stuff, and they're magnificent. Here's the other thing about Voss. Our dishwasher broke. They got a new dishwasher in our house within a week and a half. In this marketplace, in crazy weather, during crazy times. Voss TV and Appliance, 412-650-VOSS, 412-650-VOSS.
When the power goes out, your life is disrupted. Heat, air conditioning, refrigeration, phones, all gone. Be prepared for the next outage with a Generac home standby generator. After sensing a power outage, a Generac generator automatically restores your home's power, whether you're home or away. Power your life with a Generac home standby generator.
Generator Supercenter of Pittsburgh clients have electricity. Visit Generator Supercenter of Pittsburgh, 1519 West Liberty Avenue, 412-947-4472.
I went to high school with Bob Tootie from Tootie Mechanical. So I've known him, 40-plus years? His business is insane, Tootie Mechanical. The service is unbelievable. The professionalism is unbelievable. And the help, man, they've put 400 free furnaces in homes. Tootie Mechanical is the best for HVAC I've ever seen in my career. They're amazing people, amazing service. Tootie, 412-771-4100. Call them.
Loyalty has its rewards at your neighborhood Par-Mar store. See for yourself. Download the Par-Mar Stores app today and find deals, coupons, and earn points to get free groceries. Dan Zangrilli reminding you that if there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon.
Best are us when dreams sunk in. Best are us.
Right Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 412-556-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 412-556-BATH.
Baths are us. When dreams sunk in, baths are us.
CBS Eye on Veterans, presented by American Military University. Before creating the revolutionary AI-powered software behind VetClaims.ai, airborne veteran Lucas Siminer experienced the pain of poverty.
That first winter in the trailer where I couldn't afford heating fuel. So now I have this place infested by rats. Like, everything I eat has to go into Tupperware.
And he gives the DoD and VA a failing grade at helping younger enlisted vets thrive after they get out.
Broken 20-year-old Luke, who thinks he's worthless, thinks he's dumb, thinks he let his team down, doesn't know who he is anymore because everything that was his identity is now gone. That dude's not making a phone call to say, hey, I deserve something. To this day, that problem exists.
CBS Eye on Veterans is presented by American Military University. Veterans and their families receive 10% off undergraduate and master's level programs at American Military University, where your service is honored with savings.
The 50,000-watt voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
Man, I got to get my boy Jason, who's also in Florida, and I got to grab Mad Max. He took a temperature in his office this morning. It's going to blow you away. Brother Jason, how are you, my man?
Hey, how you doing, bud? I still keeping an eye on Dad and stuff.
Well, yeah, your dad's really been struggling with cancer. Did you get hammered with the weather?
We're getting hammered with rain. Last night it was spitting sleet. Orlando got ice snow, I guess. It's colder than hell, but I'm like John Fetterman. I'm out there in a shirt and shorts on.
Love it. Love it. Is it colder than normal?
Oh, it's cold. It's only like right now it's about 48 degrees. And that's what I want to tell you. I listened to yesterday that lady called in about her heat pump.
Yeah.
My neighbor up there put a heat pump air conditioning unit in, and he did away with his furnace. Well, his furnace broke, so he decided he was going to go to that. Under 30 degrees, those things will not push heat.
Wow.
So he ended up having to buy a new furnace, oil furnace, and putting it in.
Thanks, my man. We're going to deal with that. Appreciate you, buddy. Hang in there. I love him. One of my boys, Mad Max. Hey, buddy.
Hey, Marty. We're up to 62.7 right now.
Come on. Max, tell our listeners, when you got to work this morning, what was the temperature in your office?
Oh, man. 54 degrees.
Come on.
So I'm in the corner of the building.
Come on.
So, I mean, the air's coming out of the thing full blast in my office, out of the air vent, but it just, I'm in the corner, and I got a parking lot underneath me, so I got 3 exposed walls. Wow. It gets really cold.
I've never heard of an office that was 54 in my life. You have meat in there. That's like Patrick's wife's bedroom.
Yeah, I might bring a little fire pit in to supplement the heat, maybe.
Fire pit.
So, one thing I sent you...
Before I let you go.
Yeah.
So you sent me a couple videos that were actually very cool. You have in your house, what are they? Freeze warning. What is that?
So I have a Simply Safe alarm system, and I put down in my crawl space a thermal sensor. So basically, if the temperature gets below a certain level, it gives you a warning and lets you know that your pipes have the potential to freeze.
Oh.
So it's not so much for when you're home; it's for when you go on vacation and you're away to let you know, your thermostat or your thermos or whatever, your furnace isn't working right. So that's the idea behind that. But it is kind of cool to know that it is getting pretty frosty down in the crawl space.
But hold on, though, Max. What temperature does it warn you at?
It's started kicking off around 40, and I moved it down to 35.
Oh.
Because it was given a warning every hour starting at 4:49 a.m. It woke me up.
Oh, wow.
But, yeah, so I moved it down to like 35, and it still gave a warning about an hour ago, I got another one at work.
Oh, but then what are you supposed to do about that?
Well, I put a little space heater down on top of the washing machine, blowing into the crawl space, just to kind of, put a little bit of heat in there, but enough so the pipes won't freeze. That's all I'm really concerned about.
No, it makes sense. And this comes with your alarm system. That's wild. I never knew that.
So one other thing, if I could.
Of course.
So, earlier or late last week, we had the water main break at the end of my street. And I got up in the morning to use the restroom and flushed the toilet, and it didn't fill back up. I'm like, oh, crap, I can't get a shower. So anyway, this is much colder today than it was last week.
True.
So we filled up a bunch of gallon jugs of water. And people don't really appreciate, being able to use a toilet and flush it until you can't. So with 4 gallons, we're able to, use it a couple times, if, worst case scenario. So
that's
just
smart. It's actually really smart. That's a great idea. And did you have any pipes freeze after the sensors went off?
No.
All right. And that comes with that alarm system.
You can do it a la carte. So I bought a water sensor, so I know when the water heater, if that ever starts to go, and then I got a couple of thermal sensors to put in different places around the house.
54 degrees in your office. Do you have to wear a jacket, or what the hell do you do, man?
I have a battery powered heated vest on right now.
Oh, wow!
They just take That's where I'm at, man.
How you doing?
Hey, great segment with my brother-in-law, Chris, by the way.
It's unbelievable.
He's a great guy.
It's amazing. Thanks, my man. Mad Max, my man. Thanks,
all right.
brother.
Take care. Yeah, bye.
Really, several great pieces of information from Max, who's one of my favorite people.
Come in and try the Good Feet feeling today. Comfort, energy, performance, and pain relief at the Good Feet store. Visit the store for a free test walk. Visit us in Robinson Town Center, in Cranberry Township, and now open in Morgantown. Good Feet arch supports are proudly made in the USA.
Every time I go into the offices of Physical, that's F-Y-Z-I-C-A-L, in Monroeville, where I get physical therapy, to help my balance, I see a room full of patients waiting that heard how much it's helped me on this talk show. And it's so rewarding. F-Y-Z-I-C-A-L, 412-457-8200, right behind the Monroeville Mall. Look, I had chemo and radiation, jacked up my balance. It doesn't anymore. Physical, F-Y-Z-I-C-A-L. It works.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
From the Aetna Medicare Solutions Studio.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Mostly sunny and 9 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 12:30. I'm Paul Alexander. Our newsroom has compiled a list of frigid weather information, including closures, forecasts, preventing frostbite, keeping pets safe, dealing with and preventing frozen pipes, using space heaters safely, and what types of snow melt works best in what conditions. It's all on one page at KDKRadio.com. Local runners should think twice before going outside to get their daily exercise. Frank Velasquez, director of the AHN Sports Performance, is urging outdoor athletes to layer up, but when temperatures drop significantly low, like today, when we hit 7 degrees below, maybe don't go out at all.
If you rolled through North Park this morning, you probably see minimal
activity out there compared to a normal winter day, which is maybe, 20 degrees. But once you get into the negative temperatures, you're probably not going to see many people out there exercising or doing their runs. So, yes, it's recommended that you stay inside.
He says during cold weather, it's your face, your hands, and your feet that are most at risk. There had been a long talk about a plan to build 100 homes in Larmer through an expansion project in Bakery Square. But right now, that project appears to be losing steam. Todd Reedbord is the president of Walnut Capital.
I think the community groups seem somewhat frustrated and reached out to us and to the city and said, let's start getting on with it. I don't know that there's any specific thing that's going wrong. It's just that the pace of approvals and meetings and things has just slowed significantly.
He says that the mayor's office seems to be dragging its feet on the project.
We need to see leadership. We need to see the mayor's office really put its arms around this project and say, we're going to drag it forward on our backs, and we're going to move this thing forward. And we just haven't seen that yet.
Reedbord was a guest on the Big K Morning Show. A former U.S. attorney in Pittsburgh is reacting to the recent pardons granted by the outgoing and incoming presidents. News Radio KDK's Paul Rasmussen has that story.
David Hickton, who now heads the Pitt Institute for Cyber Law Policy and Security, is unhappy with both Presidents Biden and Trump for issuing thousands of pardons, some of them controversial.
I don't think that's the way the pardon power was created, envisioned, and I think we're speeding towards disaster if we continue on the path we're on.
Hickton told KDKA's Marty Griffin politicizing the criminal justice system should be avoided. He says that interferes with the separation of powers in the three branches of government and thinks the judicial and executive branches should remain separate. Paul Rasmussen, News Radio KDKA.
On Wall Street, the Dow is up 116 points, the Nasdaq up 294. The S&P 500 is up 49 points. KDK Radio News Time, 12:32. Our next update at 1 o'clock. I'm Paul Alexander and the voice of Pittsburgh News Radio, KDKA.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Hey, folks, it's Marty for Universal Windows Direct. Right now, buy 2 windows, get 2 free. No limit, no payments for 3 years. Restrictions apply. Have a price, they'll beat it. Schedule your free in-home estimate today.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
Hi, Paul Alexander. Was your goal to lose weight this new year? If so, are you already down 19 pounds? That's a serious question because I dropped 19 pounds my first 3 weeks alone with Awaken 180 weight loss. That's how fast the weight can fall off when you choose a solution for weight loss. Each week, you look at the scale, and the number goes down and down. Every morning, you wake up, and you feel better and better. For me, it was the weekly meetings with the coach. I was so excited to hop on that scale and see what kind of progress I was making. They were always happy, so of course, so was I. And given how easy Awaken 180 was, there's no way I wouldn't reach my goal, and I did. 35 pounds, totally thanks to Awaken 180, and I've kept the weight off ever since. The only weight loss program I know that puts their money where their mouth is. They're so confident in your success, they offer free support for life, a one-time investment in yourself for a lifetime of benefits. Online at awaken180weightloss.com.
So, I talk Bowser all the time and how much the Bowser family has meant to us, just in terms of cars. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 Bowser cars. Right now, 4 Bowser cars. And it's amazing the service. It's amazing the sale. It's amazing the kindness. Fine, they take care of the Griffins. You would assume that would happen, right? So a friend comes to me, a young lady, desperate for a car, had an old beat-up Honda. True story. I sent her to Bowser looking for a Subaru. They had a dozen lined up within an hour. She went to Bowser. They gave her the best deal she'd ever seen on a car, and she called me crying. She was so happy about the salesman, about the service, about the pricing, and about the effort to make her happy, to put her in a Bowser car. I love them, folks. Why wouldn't I? They're absolutely amazing. Bowser gets it.
Vacations begin here at the Pittsburgh Travel Showcase, presented by AAA Travel. More than a show, it's a global travel extravaganza, January 24th through the 26th at the David Lawrence Convention Center. It's your savings ticket with convenient one-stop shopping. Meet top travel representatives. Book your next vacation on the spot. There's exclusive discounts, expert destination speakers, motor coach trips, and a travel store. Dream it, plan it, book it, experience it. Tickets at PittsburghTravelShowcase.com, where your adventure is waiting for you.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Another frigid afternoon with sunshine mixing with clouds. Our high 14, partly to mostly cloudy and very cold tonight, though 9. Tomorrow, clouds and some sun, but not as cold in the afternoon, the high up to 28. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It's 2025, and it's time to get your home zero-resified by calling your cleaning heroes at Zero Res. Take 24% off all services for this month when you call 412-701-1188 or book online anytime at ZeroResPGH.com.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at KennyRoss.com.
Wednesday, middle of the week, still freezing cold. Courts are closed, schools closed, things are closed. It is what it is. Stay warm. Colin Dunlap, 2 to 6 today, right here, KDK.
It's amazing. I want to play this clip. I've Phil DiLucente, one of my close friends, but more so than that, one of the best lawyers in the country. But I want Phil, because he's listening right now, to listen to this clip from Senator Tom Tillis regarding all of those pardons. Listen to this.
Let me just get your thoughts on the pardons from President Trump regarding.
Yeah, I've got any of we're going through it now. Many of them probably was the right thing to do. They made a bad choice. But anybody who was convicted of assault on a police officer, I can't get there at all. I think it was a bad idea.
Are you worried that in terms of
by the way, we can't have a story about pardons without talking about the nonsense that Biden did on his way out the door.
Well, that was going to be my follow-up question is, do you think the Senate needs to look at the power of the pardon for the presidency?
I think it's a legit question because we can't get into a cycle where presidents are, pardoning their friends, creating prospective pardons for charges that haven't even been applied. I don't think that's what the founding fathers had in mind when this ability to pardon was first vested in the executive branch.
Can I also...
David Hickton said the same thing, and David Hickton went even further, saying this is dangerous. And what I liked about Hickton was he was being fair. I think Biden went even further across the line. And I got Phil DiLucente with me. Good morning, brother. How are you? Good afternoon, Phil.
Good afternoon, Marty.
Biden, Hickton said something, and I know you know, David. He said something like, and I'm paraphrasing, but it made sense to me, Phil. There's no way Joe Biden knows anything about any of those cases, the procedures, the process, the defendants, nothing. Yet he let 8,000 people walk away, Phil. Isn't that dangerous in your mind?
Well, it is, and David Hickton was one of, we have such a long branch of respected U.S. attorneys. He's brilliant. And as you know, having him on your show, he's now head of the cyber school there at Pitt. But more importantly, discussing, is it dangerous? It's dangerous for so many reasons. We don't have enough time today. And let me tell you the big picture, because we always focus, we're so reactionary as a society. What I'm concerned with now is what Senator Tillis just said. Now I heard the separation of powers thrown out there. That's exactly right. We need to keep the separation of powers separate. And what I mean by that is the president has his responsibilities and duties. The Senate should not interfere with that. They're claiming both are now abusing it. Maybe that's a strong word, but they're utilizing it in ways that has never been done before. But it must stay separate. And that goes from your question you asked me earlier in the week or last week about preemptive pardons.
Yes.
No, it has not been tested But I can tell you the courts are going to have to be very, very careful because it's a separation of powers issue. And they should, if we're going to start going down this road, and I think it's because we have had, like 10,000 pardons done in the last week.
It's unbelievable.
It's
Phil, I think it is 10,000. I think Biden did 8, and I think Trump did 2. I think you're right.
Yeah. So we're up in that high 9s, early 10s. So when you think about that, you have to say to yourself, okay, what was the purpose? And I agree with former U.S. Attorney Hecton. That wasn't the purpose of it. But at the same time, I get because we're so reactionary. So if it stops now, I could argue both sides of Trump. I could argue both sides of Biden.
I know.
Trump's a little bit easier because he's using the phrase, Ford did, the country needs to heal, we need to move on.
True.
All the January 6th committee members destroyed everything, so you can't even, for appeal purposes, it was just, so much stuff has happened. I always go back. Hickton has taught at law school. Gormley, President Gormley of Duquesne University, one of the most brilliant minds in the country,
Love him.
in Pittsburgh. Could you imagine those students in law class, though, today? A hypothetical. We have so many things that are creating law or being looked at to challenge the Constitution.
Let me ask you something. Let me ask you something, because Phil has insane relationships like I do with police officers, and he loves them, and they admire and respect Phil, and he defends the hell out of them and has represented them for decades. So, a lot of cops are like, Trump is saying, screw you, by releasing people that beat the hell out of cops. That's the line that some cops think he crossed. You get where they're coming from? Cops who are angry about this?
Yeah, I mean, if I was in law enforcement, I could see that. There was also the issue that it was going to be taken on a case-by-case basis. And then there's a quote, I think it was in Politico or one of the magazines, where it was, quote, he said, F it, pardon them all. Because he just wants to get moving on.
I get it.
And even this Vice President Vance said earlier that wouldn't happen. Here's also a thing that, let's not confuse the pardon with the clemency. Right?
Nice.
The Silk Road founder, who had been in jail for a decade, he had 2 life sentences. The president said he thought that was unfair. So, I always see 2 sides of it, but nobody in their right mind would ever say, attacking a police officer without, if they were getting beat on or whatever, they're trying to defend themselves, different story. But a total, hurting a police officer, that's just insanity. But in this instance, you've heard so much about January 6th, Marty. Here's where I get really concerned. I've read so much. I've heard so much. I've had people come in. They couldn't afford me. I couldn't represent them. But this whole January 6th, you don't know what's truthful, what's not.
True.
Did they actually have people in there that were from the opposing party corralling things? So the public on this issue is so confused. And then, if it's true, I don't even know if it's true. The January 6th committee, all the notes were destroyed. You have Adam Schiff saying 4 years earlier, Trump's going to pardon his family. That's wrong, preemptive.
Hey, Phil, I got to jump in. I got to get this before you go, because this is important. This is something we're both very aware of. Without naming names, Phil and I both know a rather highly regarded doctor who was pardoned, who wrote big checks to a political party. And my point is this notion that it's new, Phil, that these pardons are political. My man, for decades, people have been writing big checks and end up being pardoned. It has a certain stench to it sometimes, doesn't it, Phil?
Well, keep in mind, yes, that pardons were typically given at the end of a presidency, right? Because then you could just move on. We're experiencing both sides of this now, which we've never seen before. So, was done very quietly, and I can tell you, at least the last time that I was involved in one, and attempting to
lost him, huh? We lost Phil. His stream froze up. At the end of the day, I agree with Phil. It's a convoluted mess, and it needs to be cleared up. and it needs to be somehow. Phil was spot on. If you listen to what he said, 10,000 pardons. 10,000 in the last couple weeks. Folks, I don't care how you look at it. That ain't right.
Did you know that now you can listen to all your favorite stations, including this one, shows, and even podcasts, all on the Odyssey app? Download it now.
People often ask us, what's the most important part of running a successful business? And our answer is family.
Hi, John, Maggie, and Justin Schmutzer here from Metropolitan Window Company, Pittsburgh's locally owned and family-operated window company for over 45 years.
When you choose Metropolitan Window Company, you're not just a customer. We treat you like family. We take the time to understand your needs and help you find the perfect windows for you and your home. Like our exclusive Infinity from Marvin 100% fiberglass windows.
They're the strongest, longest-lasting, best insulating windows you can buy. They're way better than vinyl.
And right now, you can save 20% plus get no interest financing on every window and door product we offer.
Join our family of satisfied customers.
So stop by one of our showrooms or visit us on the web at metropolitanwindows.com.
Or give us a call at 412-655-8411. PA 1565.
Carl Herman Furs store closing sale is in its final days. Save up to 80% while inventory lasts. Drastically reduced savings on furs, shearlings, leather, cashmere, and accessories. You can't afford to miss it. Carl Herman Furs, Smithfield Street.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit, 800-329-2121, 800-329-2121, 800-329-2121.
This is Barry and Steve Ehrenrich from Petite Kitchen and Bath Design Center, and we'd like to say thank you.
Thank you for making Petite the premier kitchen and bath design center and remodeler in Western Pennsylvania.
For over 50 years, you've welcomed us into your homes to help solve your remodeling problems. Our goal is, and always has been, to avoid the nightmare of remodeling. We want to give you the kitchen or bath of your dreams.
Thank you for taking it one step further. You recommended us to your friends. There's no greater statement of satisfaction than to say to a friend, I love my Petite kitchen, or I'm so happy with my Petite bath. You should call them too.
From custom creation to expert installation, you don't have to go anywhere else. And you didn't. You came to Petite. So, thank you.
And to those of you who haven't been to Petite yet, haven't you waited long enough? PA 625.
Subaru was built for winter, and Bowser Subaru has over 100 new Subarus to get you where you need to go. The 2025 Subaru Crosstrek Premium, VIN number RH908770, is ready to conquer the snow-covered roads of Pittsburgh. And right now at Bowser Subaru, you can lease it for just $299 a month. 36-month lease with $2,999 due at signing. Don't wait. Visit Bowser Subaru today and take advantage of this limited-time offer. MSRP $30,778, 10,000 miles per year. Dealer dock fee of $477 applies. No security deposit required. With credit approval and financing through SMFL. See Bowser Subaru for complete details. Offer ends January 31st. BowserSubaru.com. Bowser Subaru, Route 51 South on top of the hill.
Hi, I'm Ken Mears, founder of Great Healthworks, the maker of Omega XL. Folks, if you're searching for an answer to your daily aches, pains, and soreness, then try Omega XL. It's a natural product sourced from a green lip mussel. This oil extract is one of the most powerful, natural joint relief super oils in the world. This one-of-a-kind extract is not found in any other product, and it's backed by over 40 years of clinical research, showing that Omega XL provides relief from joint pain due to inflammation. Stop living in pain. Inflammation is controllable, it's manageable, and it's fixable. Importantly, Omega XL is small, easy to swallow, with no fishy aftertaste. And it works. We've put over 20 years into this quality brand, ensuring that Omega XL makes a difference in your life. Try it, and you won't be disappointed.
Call now for Omega XL's BOGO special. 800-725-2090. That's less than $20 a bottle. Remember, there's a 60-day money-back guarantee. Terms apply. 800-725-2090. 800-725-2090 or OmegaXL.com/news.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. The YouTube star Mr. Beast is the latest big name expressing interest in buying TikTok's U.S. operations. He even hired the brother of President Trump's pick for U.S. Attorney General to advise on the deal. Meantime, President Trump says he'd be open to Elon Musk or Oracle Chairman Larry Ellison buying the app if they team up with the government. Blowout earnings late Tuesday from Netflix, which added nearly 19 million new subscribers in just 3 months. Its biggest gain ever, thanks to live sporting events like 2 NFL games on Christmas Day and hits like Squid Games 2. It's also hiking its monthly fee by between $1 and $2.50, depending on your plan. Shares of Netflix soaring up more than 11%, while elsewhere on Wall Street, stocks, after better-than-forecast earnings from Netflix, United Airlines, Travelers, Procter & Gamble, are all higher. Right now, the Dow up 0.25%, the tech-heavy NASDAQ 1.5% higher, the S&P up nearly 1%. Tom Busby, Bloomberg Radio.
Pittsburgh's 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Got Phil DeLucente joining me on the video stream, which is presented by Metropolitan Windows Company. Phil, it's actually fascinating how this has evolved. So George Washington pardoned 4 people. Abe Lincoln, and this is Civil War stuff, Phil, 340 people. So now we get friggin' Biden, 8,000, and Trump 2,000 and counting. It's headed in a path that I don't think most Americans would like. And Phil, for a guy who does nothing but the law, this is not good, is it, sir? This path.
No, I agree with you. I mean, it has to stop. And I think what happened is Biden, at the end of his term, did consistent with what other presidents did, except he did it on steroids times, 100.
Yep.
And Trump is like any, whether it's the CEO, the mayor of a city, or a U.S. senator, they do all their things that are going to be not necessarily very favorable at the very early part of the first week while they're in. And then people forget what have you. But this cannot continue. I agree with you 110%. And I would be surprised if there's probably any further pardons issued until 2029.
That's a great observation. Hey, man, I got to ask you 2 things. Phil knows John Fetterman as well as I do. Everybody's freaking out, Phil. And by the way, Phil's one of the sharpest dressers in the country. So everybody's freaking out because John wore his thing to the inauguration. Does it affect his standing? I think it makes him cooler with the young kids. My daughter sent me a TikTok of Fetterman this morning. That has never happened with one of my teenagers. What do you say, Phil? Is it disrespectful? Which is what people are saying.
Well, it's certainly unorthodox, but it's worked for him. So, it's that old saying, if it's working for you, continuing with it. Right now, he's also someone that doesn't, and I really respect this about him.
I know.
He doesn't want to be designated.
Nope.
He's the people for Pennsylvania.
I agree.
I don't want to be designated as a D, an R, or any. I just want to help the people. So maybe he's an independent at the end of the day. Right now, he's stepping close to the line, but he's saying, I'm not changing parties. But I actually could see him, and I think you're right, especially with the young people. He might end up being another independent, and that makes you more powerful as close as these elections are with, 48 senators, Democrat, 52 Republicans. So
Steve Jobs was the
real
smartest man in our generation, and he was the richest man in the world when he died. He wore a black turtleneck and jeans every day. Zuckerberg, same thing. Because of John Standing, and by the way, I asked him, Phil, did they care that you were dressed that way at Mar-a-Lago? He said, hell no. Did Trump care? Hell no. If Trump doesn't care, why would anyone else care? Right, Phil?
That's exactly right. And think about this. When he was elected or running, everybody knew the way he dressed.
Yep.
And you can see him walking the streets. He's a hometown guy, and he's trying to do well. And I could tell you, his people, I've talked to his people for assistance on something.
Yep.
They're the sharpest out there.
Oh, yeah.
They are fast, and they are
His
quick.
guy, Charlie, is really cool. And then I got to ask you about downtown. Phil would crawl through glass to go to work, so he doesn't count. Is downtown dead right now, Phil, because of the weather? Dead?
Absolutely. There was no traffic this morning. There's no one in the building.
Yep.
Even less than there has been since COVID. It's a ghost town. But you still have people that want to come in. I finished 2 meetings before we even got on the phone.
Of course you did.
And so there you go.
Let me just say one thing before you go. And his hair was perfect. Phil DeLucente, you are my man, brother.
Thank you so much. Hey, we got to thank my cousin Alfredo for my hair and Dr. Costa.
Look at
for
this.
Taking the weight off me and making me look better.
Listen to this. Listen to this stuff. Dr. Costa is out of a movie. That's all I got to say. And he's one of my boys, and he saved my friggin' life. And I love him, too. What's your cousin's name who cut your hair?
Alfredo.
Alfredo. Love it, Philly. You're my man, Phil.
All right, Marty. Thank you. Have a great day.
He's one of my favorite human beings, Phil DeLucente. By the way, it was his wife that shut down the courthouse. Uh-huh. You know why? Phil called her and said, this cold air will make my head cold, honey. I can't walk to the courthouse, dear. Shut it down. Okay, sweetheart. It's not true, but it sounds good. I love Phil DeLucente. The pardon stuff is insane, man. 10,000 pardons in less than a week. Come on, man. Where the hell are we going with this?
It's the little things. The information you need. People you know. The little things that make a big difference. The voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
The Village at St. Barnabas. The perfect place for mom.
Colin Dunlap on KDKA.
If I'm sitting around and I'm watching football, some people they want this big thing of nachos. Some people want chili. If you could make me a cold meatloaf sandwich, that's what I'd go for. Have the fireplace on, that screams cold to me.
Weekdays 2 to 6 on the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Right now at Wendy's, get 2 of these fave items for just $7. The spicier classic chicken sandwich, Dave's single, or 10-piece nugs. It's an incredible deal, but an insanely difficult choice. Do you go double chicky sando, both spicy and classic, 1 beefy and 1 chicky? Or maybe you go all in on one and go Nug Max. 2 faves for just $7? Gotta be Wendy's.
At participating Wendy's for a limited time only. Select a request 2 for $7 deal to redeem. Not valid in a combo or with saucy nugs. Single item at a regular price. Prices may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted a walk-up with central air and a skylight. And you found it. Now, every Friday night, you get to fall asleep to the sound of your downstairs neighbors' dance parties. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Success is picking up extra shifts for your family. Now you want to be the boss. Success is getting your foot in the door. Now you want to take the next step. Success looks different to everyone, and University of Maryland Global Campus can help you reach your goals. And there's never been a better time to get started on your future. Apply by February 12th and save with no application fee. As an accredited state university, UMGC has been transforming lives for over 75 years. With more than 135 undergraduate and graduate degrees and certificates, online and hybrid courses, personalized support, financial resources, and lifetime career services, achieving your dreams is more possible than ever before. Choose the program that's right for your career goals and get started on your next success. Get your application fee waived through February 12th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
KDKA and KDKA FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare Solutions Studio.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Partly sunny and 10 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 1 o'clock. I'm Paul Alexander. News brought to you by P.J. Fitzpatrick, the home improvement pros with 44 years of experience and thousands of five-star reviews. Trust PJ.com. Today's low temperature of 7 below zero at Pittsburgh International is the coldest in nearly 10 years. The last time it was colder was in February of 2015 when the reading was 9 below. Our newsroom has compiled a list of frigid weather information, including closures, forecasts, preventing frostbite, keeping pets safe, dealing with and preventing frozen pipes, using space heaters safely, and what types of snow melt works best in what conditions. It's all on one page at kdkradio.com. A former U.S. attorney in the Pittsburgh area is reacting to the recent pardons granted by the outgoing and incoming presidents. News Radio, KDK's Paul Rasmussen has the story.
David Hickton, who now heads the Pitt Institute for Cyber Law Policy and Security, is unhappy with both Presidents Biden and Trump for issuing thousands of pardons, some of them controversial.
I don't think that's the way the pardon power was created, envisioned, and I think we're speeding towards disaster if we continue on the path we're on.
Hickton told KDKA's Marty Griffin politicizing the criminal justice system should be avoided. He says that interferes with the separation of powers in the three branches of government and thinks the judicial and executive branches should remain separate. Paul Rasmussen, News Radio, KDKA.
President Trump promises to crack down on immigration and deport undocumented immigrants as people flooding to the phone lines of local law firms. News Radio, KDK's Tamira Rush has the details.
Allegheny immigration attorney Patrick Murphy tells me right now there's just desperation and chaos.
People are concerned about their status. They're concerned about getting caught up in whatever's about to happen. They're concerned about being deported, separated from their loved ones, maybe in some cases the countries they don't even know anymore.
He gives a few steps necessary if one is approached by law enforcement or an ICE agent.
If they don't have a warrant, you don't have to open the door for them. If they tell you they have a warrant, make them show it to you. Put it under the door or show it at the window. You have a right to not answer questions. You have a right to ask for a lawyer.
Murphy says flyers will be distributed around the Mon Valley area and on social media sites to help educate the public. Tamira Rush, News Radio, KDKA.
Hempfield area boys basketball coach Bill Swan has resigned amid a school investigation of undisclosed allegations against him. Swan submitted his resignation last night during the school board meeting. Superintendent said the investigation is nearing its completion. State police were also investigating the allegations. Back in 2009, Swan was fired as coach and required to attend anger management classes. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 100 points, the Nasdaq up 287. The S&P 500 is up 44 points. KDK Sports, Penguins continue their West Coast road trip tomorrow night when they take on the Anaheim Ducks. Robert Morris on the hardwood tonight. They'll be at Youngstown State, tipping it up at 6:30. KDK Radio News Time 103. Confused about Medicare? One Health Benefits helps you select the best Medicare options to fit your needs. Contact Dina Schmidt at One Health Benefits, 724-799-8873. Sunny and 10 degrees in Pittsburgh. Your AccuWeather forecast is next.
So, the best food in this area is in Oakmont right now. The Lot at Edgewater, the Pub at 333, Hofstadt's, Michael A's, Vinny's Tavern, and the place that started it all, Carnivores. I'm telling you, folks, I've eaten at all of them, and my man J.K., the Oakmont Restaurant King, delivers nothing but the best. Oakmont, the best food, the best community. Check it out.
Ready for an escape from the everyday? Hi, this is Larry Richard. The Bradenton area on Florida's west coast is welcoming visitors. Their world-famous beaches have been restored to their pristine states. Beloved island businesses are bouncing back faster than expected. And their signature Floridian cuisine is just as fresh as ever. Don't wait. Start planning your visit today at BradentonGolfIslands.com.
The Battle of the Berg Hot Tub Showdown is back. When Pittsburgh's biggest hot tub dealers compete, you win. Valley Pool and Spa and Pool City are facing off at the Washington County Fairgrounds January 24th through 26th. Save up to $5,000 on a new hot tub from Jacuzzi, Sundance, Platinum, Dreammaker, and more. From your local dealer. Hundreds to choose from. Quick delivery and 0% financing available on approved credit. One weekend only at the Washington County Fairgrounds. Learn more at battleoftheberg.com and claim your $500 instant hot tub coupon now.
Do you want to lose weight? Do you want to move better? Do you want to decrease your meds? Do you want to have more self-worth, self-esteem, self-confidence? Then why not? Let's do it. I'm Dr. Bridget Chufo from the Weight Loss and Wellness Center. You've heard my voice now for over 26 years. I'll be your partner. Make it easy, possible. We live in Pittsburgh. We'll be living the next few months in the cold. Let's make this time our time for improving ourselves and emerge a brand new person. Give me a call at 1-800-900-THIN.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Sunshine mixing with clouds as we head into the afternoon hours. It'll be very cold with a high just 14. Quite cold tonight under partly to mostly cloudy skies, low 9 above. Tomorrow, clouds and some sun, not so cold, the high 28. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Loyalty has its rewards at your neighborhood Par-Mar store. See for yourself. Download the Par-Mar Stores app today and find deals, coupons, and earn points to get free groceries. Dan Zangrilli reminding you that if there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon.
Hear about it. Then talk about it. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Great opportunity here to talk about the future of Pittsburgh. And honestly, the future of public safety in Pittsburgh. If you listen, you know this. I'm very tight with a lot of cops. It's kind of my thing. Why? I love what they do, man. Find me that, Ryan, do me a favor, buddy. Find me that sound with that cop who ran on that bus. Because I want Anthony to hear this. Okay, so play that right now. Anthony, listen to this.
29, 3429. I got everyone off the bus. Copy. 29. Fire's still on scene.
480. Get into the call just as a precaution. 429 and then bring to the hospital.
So, that was a Pittsburgh cop. There was this crazy fire on a Port Authority bus. Is that 2 days ago now? Yeah. Looked like the engine exploded. That cop, on duty, on his own, pulls up, goes on that bus, no breathing, nothing, saves a bunch of people's lives. And Anthony Call goes with me, City Council, and also public safety. That's heroic, man. And that's what they do in this town, do they not, sir?
They do. Our police officers are incredible. Every day they put their uniform on. They never know what they're going to run into. My brother's a police chief of Cannonsburg.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. He's been there for years. Lost one police officer in an ambush. Yep. So you never know what you're running into as a police officer. And in today's world, they're kind of vilified, I feel.
Oh, yeah.
And, it's I have the utmost respect for them. I think they know that about me. And so do the surrounding police chiefs, which I have good relationships with all of them.
So he's up here for something else, but I got to ask him about this every day. And you know this because you do. They'll send me salaries from different departments. Mount Lebanon, $112,000. Mount Oliver, $98,000. Friggin' Mount Oliver, paying $98,000. Pittsburgh cops, $65,000. And what they say is, we can't stay here. They can't pay us. Is that accurate?
I would say it's accurate. It's hard for us to compete with our surrounding municipalities. Every year at Thanksgiving and Christmas, it's like my cousin's also the police chief of Monroeville.
Oh, nice.
His name's Doug Cole. And it's like an ongoing joke with us, like, we just got 2 more of your guys.
True.
So you look at these.
Because they're paying over 100 too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Most departments pay higher than us. What we do have is growth for opportunity to become a sergeant, a lieutenant, and, a commander, or even a police chief. So, we do have some perks as far as that goes, but what we really are is a training ground for these other municipalities, it seems.
You don't like saying that, but it's true.
Of course it's true. And I don't fault the young police officers. They're young children, and it's like, well, you're going to make $40,000 more working for Bethel Park or Monroeville. They got to think about their livelihood, even though in their career, they're basically subject to being a patrol officer.
Yep.
But, you have to weigh that with paying your bills and prices of groceries and everything. And I think, it's hard for us to compete.
Well, what you said is so spot on. So when you're young, you like the buzz. You're chasing the action here in the city because there's a vibe to it. But what you're doing, and Anthony knows this, you're sitting there with your wife and you're like, all right, man, I make 65 in Pittsburgh. I can make 165 in Monroeville or Mount Lebanon with OT. I'm out of here. And you can't, in this town, in terms of the finances available, you can't stop that or fix it, can you, sir? Be honest.
We don't have the money to compete with the surrounding municipalities. Absolutely not.
And never will.
Probably.
Right?
I agree. Yeah.
And you have to be honest, because I tell these cops this because they're my friends. There would have to be a major tax increase, which ain't happening, right? Or a special fund. And that's not happening, is it, sir?
That's right. I was instrumental just a few years ago in increasing their salaries. Yep. So we did get them to a different level, but it's still hard to compete. The only thing I could say, hopefully it subsides because we're filling up these other, municipalities with our police officers. Yep. We lost 106 this year and 102 last year. Unprecedented amounts of, police officers that we're losing to these municipalities.
Couple hundred.
Yeah, we can count on, we could forecast for retirements because we know how many are eligible to retire. But you can't forecast for ones that are being hired away from other municipalities. Throw in the fact that they like that school district better and that neighborhood probably better, then, it's hard to compete.
They do an amazing job, though, man. They kick ass here.
Oh, I love our police officers.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we have the best training in the country, honestly. And that's kind of why we're being cherry-picked by everybody.
I agree.
Around it.
So what about their argument? Hey, man, the firefighters are the highest paid. Hey, man, the medics are the highest paid. Why aren't we? What do you tell them?
I would say the firefighters are probably more savvy on the political side when it comes down to
at least you're honest.
We're going back to Mayor Murphy, I think.
Right on, brother.
When it's kind of a sweetheart.
They vote in blocks.
That's right. That's right. And the firefighters they make sure their families are registered to vote. It's true. They come out and they march out.
Right on.
If you are supporting them, they are supporting you. And I'm a big supporter of the firefighters. And I like to think they're big supporters of mine as well.
No, I get it.
So they also have a very dangerous job.
Yep.
Being in a fire is one of the scariest things. You just played that clip from the police officer.
It's unbelievable.
But so they deserve it. And our police officers deserve it as well. But this was probably before my time in negotiations.
Yeah, of course.
Why they're not at the pay scale.
I get it. I love them, and I tell them the same thing. They don't want to buy it, but it's true, man. Right. Not why we're here, but he knows this stuff, and he very comfortable with this stuff. You're here because, and tell me if I'm wrong here, you're here because of a trust issue. And the fact is, and I don't want to speak for you, you and the others on council don't trust Ed Gainey with how he managed the former police chief. Is that fair?
I don't want to speak for the others on council, but certainly for me, yes. I don't want to have to depend on and rely on what the mayor or the soon-to-be whoever he puts up as permanent chief. I want him to be under oath. We were lied to. I liked Larry Scarrato. It's nothing personally against him, but I will tell you many of the police force, many of the rank and file said, he's just here to pad his pension. He's just here to pad his pension. Well, we interviewed him. I brought that question to him. I said, let's just make sure the public understands. This is not whippy old Tuesday and Thursday nights. I said, this is a career, Big Ten basketball refereeing, right? So you're gone 4 or 5 months out of the year. So I made it clear in our interview I said, your intent is to stay with the Pittsburgh Police and not pursue your reffing career as long as you're a police chief. He flat out said that's correct.
So he lied to you?
I think he lied to me, yeah. And, worse than that, Marty, the mayor claims he knew about it, and so does his whole administration. And they were there for when we interviewed Chief Scarrato. Not one of them said, oh, by the way, if the murder rate comes down, we're going to renegotiate with him and allow him to go coach or referee basketball. Well,
but hold on, let me stop you, because that was the deal that we actually found out exactly what happened.
That's right.
So he got a backroom deal with Ed Gainey.
That's right.
That if he could bring the murder rate down, he could leave and coach basketball, right? Right. And that'd be cool. None of that was conveyed to you.
I felt we hired him under false pretenses. The video clip I have, you can play it someday if you want, but I asked him directly, you're not going to pursue Big Ten basketball refereeing? And he said, no, I am not. Not as long as I am Pittsburgh Police Chief. And I was comfortable with that. But to find out that the mayor and his administration all knew differently, and let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Marty. There's not a municipality in the United States where the murder rate didn't come down coming out of the pandemic. Okay,
that's true.
So to look at that and say, "Oh, Larry Scarrato is the best thing since sliced bread because our murder rate comes down," I could have been the police chief and our murder rate would have come down. So, not to begrudge Larry, I think he was a good guy. I think he was doing a good job. I feel like he had the confidence of the department. But for this mayor to, say, "Oh, we're going to try to work it out where he can coach Big Ten basketball." And this thing about kids, and he's going to help kids out. Well, I knew that was the end of him.
All right, so when we come back, Anthony's going to do something that's very unique, right?
I'd say so, yeah.
And very unique to Pittsburgh City Council. And you got to hear it because it's groundbreaking, and it's because they have trust issues with this mayor. You got to hear this next.
All the news you need for your day and the sports, music, and podcasts you love are all on the free Odyssey app. Download now.
When you're in the thick of a project, Harbor Freight is the place that always comes in handy. Whether you're picking up something for your pickup truck or a power tool for your project, at Harbor Freight, your dollar always goes further. And these days, when everything seems to cost more, you can take pride in knowing that you get hard-working tools at hard-working prices. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Uh-huh.
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide Free and Gentle provides an excellent Tide clean, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues like dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on your skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
I went to high school with Bob Tootie from Tootie Mechanical. So I've known him, 40-plus years? His business is insane, Tootie Mechanical. The service is unbelievable. The professionalism is unbelievable. And the help, man, they've put 400 free furnaces in homes. Tootie Mechanical is the best for HVAC I've ever seen in my career. They're amazing people, amazing service. Tootie, 412-771-4100. Call them.
Honey, I found the perfect place for my parents and us.
Where?
St. Barnabas. For us, the Woodlands Carriage Home Community. And for my parents, condominium-style living at the Village. My folks will love the Village. There's an indoor mall with shops, restaurants, and more. And we can relax, knowing they're safe and secure.
That's what I plan to do when we move to St. Barnabas. Relax.
Call 724-444-5568 or visit stbarnabascommunities.com.
Come in and try the Good Feet feeling today. Comfort, energy, performance, and pain relief at the Good Feet store. Visit the store for a free test walk. Visit us in Robinson Town Center, in Cranberry Township, and now open in Morgantown. Good Feet arch supports are proudly made in the USA.
Window Nation customers have been singing our praises for years. With fast, local service and an industry-leading 96% customer satisfaction rating, it's no wonder.
I researched window companies for the last year to see what the average prices were and the quality of work. Window Nation nailed both.
Get 50% off all windows plus no interest or payments for 2 years. Hurry, this offer ends soon. Schedule a free estimate now. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com. That's 866-90-NATION.
The voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, so for those who don't know this, I like Larry too, Chihuahua. He was very cool, very charming, very engaging, very intelligent. But what Anthony Coghill did say is friggin' spot on. So, who knows, at lunch, who knows, some back room, if you want to call it, as a metaphor. Before Larry took this gig, he cut a deal with the mayor that no one knew about but them. And I guess maybe his people and his staff knew. That Larry comes in here, if he brings the crime rate down, murder rate, that he gets to go and referee basketball. Right, Anthony?
That's right.
And no one knew that but them.
That's right.
So the crime rate comes, the murder rate comes down. Fine, it's cool. Larry announces he's going to ref basketball, make an extra. I had no idea they made that kind of money.
Yeah.
And so you were lied to and misrepresented, and there's no way in hell you would accept a part-time police chief like that, right?
No, you can't have a part-time police chief in a major city. 4 months, 5 months out of the year, he would be on the road. That's
it's ignorant.
Yeah, it's not.
All right,
not
so
feasible.
You've had enough, and I'm not lying. I want our audience to hear this. How many conversations, legit, adult, face-to-face, let's make a difference conversations, have you had with Ed Gainey in the last 3 years?
Zero.
Your mayor, our mayor, my mayor, zero conversations, right?
That's right.
So then when you found out you were lied to, your words, not mine, this forced you to make a change. And tell our listeners what you're about to do, which I think is insanely cool.
Yeah. Well, today we introduced legislation that will require any director, but it was spawned, of course, by the Scarrato fiasco, to be under oath when they come to that city council table. Because, I felt we hired Chief Scarrato under false pretenses. Had I known they had this conversation, if the murder rate came down, that he would be able to go ref basketball. Well, every municipality in the United States, the murder rate has come down. Okay, so we're coming out of a pandemic. That's across the nation. So I would have never agreed to hire him had I knew he had aspirations to go ref Big Ten basketball again, because it would mean he wouldn't be here. And you can't have a full-time police chief that's in Portland, Oregon, refereeing a basketball game.
So let's be honest. This is serious, man. You're saying that, let's say, the chief that's there right now, Ragland, you're going to interview him, in essence, and ask him serious questions. And if this legislation passes, from what I'm hearing, it's going to pass overwhelmingly, they'll be under oath legally.
Right. That's right. And that'll give us the recourse now, because we didn't have recourse. We found out from the administration, all of them basically, including the mayor, of course, all knew about that deal that they cut with Scarrato. We didn't. We're the ones that approve or don't approve the chief. We are the ones that are responsible for looking after the taxpayer dollars. As you know, his 18-month stint here, he walks away with $42,500 extra every year for the rest of his life, providing he lives a normal 20 years. It's going to be $1 million to our pension fund that's hit. Now, I liked Larry Scarrato. I thought he was a good chief. But, I think it's overstated as to how good he was and the job he did. Just because the murder rate was down, you can look, again, at any city, and the murder rate has been down.
You think, and I don't want to, your words, you were played, right?
Of course.
Right?
Yeah.
And so, by under oath, you mean legal oath, right?
That's right. I mean, if you lie to us at that council table, you're now committing perjury.
Wow.
Now, we will have the recourse to go back and say, well, you're no longer entitled to your pension. We could fire you. We could figure out something to do. We will have the recourse to take action. I will no longer have trust in this mayor. I don't care who he puts in front of us as the next police chief. I want this council, and I feel like other members feel the same as me. We want to make sure we're getting the truth at that table before we decide to spend taxpayer dollars on this next chief.
Damn. So the next police chief better tell you the truth. Forget about you take away his pension. They could be indicted and charged with a crime.
Could be.
Right?
Yeah.
Help me with this, Anthony. Is this unprecedented? I think it is.
I don't know if it's unprecedented around the United States. It is in Pittsburgh, but it's the first I've heard of a body putting a director under oath. And again, it's a shame it's come to this, Marty. It really is. But
so you have to have a judge in there?
I haven't worked out those
You haven't
details.
worked out the
Somebody will have to put them under oath, though.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure exactly if we have somebody in city government that can do that, or do we need to bring in one of the magistrates or something? Yeah.
This takes this process to a new level, and also suggests the frustration level with this mayor on city council. Is that fair?
That's fair.
Wow. Help me with this. What was the moment when you said we need a hammer like this? Because this is a hammer, brother.
The moment. Now, I've been thinking about this for a long time, but the moment was when the mayor was on TV boasting about Chief Scarrato and he's going to take on this new job, and that we knew nothing about it. And I knew that we were lied to. I have it on videotape. And start talking about bringing kids in and things like that. I thought, no, I'm no longer trusting in this administration to give us the truth. I need the truth at that table. And I want other council members to know, they're telling us the truth, nothing but the truth, and it's going to be under oath.
Wow. Wow. It's historic, man. And just
and let me say, Marty.
Yeah, go ahead.
Whether Larry lied to me or not, maybe at the time he thought, yeah, well, this is a decision he made. Maybe the Big Ten called him in between and said, guess what, we get
right out of the blue.
So I don't begrudge him that. But at that point, we're on the hook for $42,500 of taxpayer money every year. Now, the administration had a chance to fire him because he did lie to us, and it was under false pretense as far as council is concerned. But having that backroom deal, just their word, I guess they wouldn't fire him. So we could have saved $42,500 a year in taxpayer dollars out of our pension fund, and they had the opportunity to let him go even after this all came out, and they chose not to. So
wow.
Yeah, so we're going to be very careful about it. We're going to be very careful with our constituents' taxpayer dollars and make sure that the next chief or director, and that goes for EMS, that goes for fire, that goes across the board. We just want to make sure that we're getting the right information because we can no longer trust in the mayor to give us that information.
It also suggests the animus between all of council, not just you and the mayor, does it not?
I can't speak for all of council, but I could speak. I know there are others besides me for sure that speaks to. And it's just perplexing. It really is that the mayor has, I think, 8 or 9 media people that he hired, and not one of them reaches out to us.
Not one.
Not one. No, I can't even tell you a media person's name. Honestly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. A city can't excel if a city doesn't communicate with its mayor. Is that fair?
Marty, that is the number one reason why I've chose to support somebody else. It's Corey O'Connor next May, because I need communication in my office. For me to get anything done in my district, it's all been done through communication. Former Mayor Peduto was very good at that. Dan Gilman, his chief of staff or deputy mayor, I can't remember exactly what his title was, but there wasn't a week that went by when Dan Gilman would stop in my office and say, what do you need, Anthony?
Nice.
What can I do for your district? And we would, some things I got done, some things I didn't. But I look at my record of what I got done under Bill Peduto compared to what I have in the pipeline with Mayor Gainey, and it's just impossible for me to support him. Yeah.
So from a really highly regarded police chief, a notary or magistrate can put someone under oath. I'd also recommend they sign a form about the ramifications for committing perjury. Strong.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony, I love you, man.
Thank you,
honest
Marty.
Man. You're in your. I think you're doing the right thing.
Appreciate that.
Right?
I appreciate you bringing attention to it. We're not going to be duped again like we were the first time, and this is really just to protect taxpayer dollars.
And you're throwing down the gauntlet with the mayor.
Well, that's nothing new as far as between him and I. But yeah,
you haven't had one legitimate conversation with the mayor in 3 years.
That's right.
Wow. Anthony Coghill, thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Marty.
It's amazing. I love it.
Attention. If you suffer from consistent pain in your joints caused by arthritis, overuse, or injury, you may be a candidate for a revolutionary therapy that could revitalize damaged tissue. This approach can provide long-lasting relief from pain in your knees, shoulders, hips, and other joints with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. To find out if you're a viable candidate, you may request a free consultation from QC Kinetics by calling 412-754-7936. Instead of masking the symptoms, it goes to the root of the problem to resolve it at its source. Already used by thousands of satisfied patients nationwide, this joint pain therapy is available right now to the public, but only for qualified candidates. Again, to find out if you're a viable candidate for this therapy, you may request a free consultation by calling QC Kinetics at 412-754-7936. That's 412-754-7936.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Hey, this is Lisa from Nest Expressions Window Fashions. Visit Pittsburgh's one and only newest Hunter Douglas Gallery at 2015 Village Run Road, 724-933-5500 or nestexpressions.com.
From the Aetna Medicare Solutions Studio.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Partly sunny and 11 degrees at Pittsburgh International at 1:30. I'm Paul Alexander. Former U.S. Attorney David Hickton is reacting to the thousands of pardons, some highly controversial, recently issued by both presidents. Hickton told KDKA's Marty Griffin he's concerned that the criminal justice system is being politicized at the expense of the separation of powers in the three branches of government.
And the court system is separate and to be as powerful. And we do not want the executive branch to be able to be on top of the court system.
Hickton, who now heads the Pitt Institute for Cyber Law Policy and Security, also said that the jury system, the common sense of American people, usually gets to the right result. A local immigrant rights attorney prepares to fight President Trump's immigration orders. News Radio KDK's Tamira Rush has that story.
Allegheny immigration attorney Patrick Murphy describes what he learned about the president's first-term immigration policies regarding asylum seekers.
Right, last time around, there was a lot of procedural and technical, almost fraternity pranks they did with people that were applying for humanitarian protection. Historically, if you only had one or two brothers and sisters, you left the other spaces blank. One day during the last administration started rejecting it unless you wrote NA in all the blank spaces in the entire form. They called it the blank spaces. Well, when it played holy hell with the asylum system, because, you know, these are generally people that are very, very scared.
Murphy encourages immigrants to carry a Know Your Rights red card at all times. 22 attorneys general are suing the administration to block the president's attempt to end birthright citizenship. Tamira Rush, News Radio, KDKA.
On Wall Street, the Dow is up 149 points, the Nasdaq up 254, the S&P 500 is up 43. KDK Radio News Time, 1:32. Our next update at 2 o'clock. I'm Paul Alexander, the voice of Pittsburgh News Radio, KDKA.
Subaru was built for winter, and Bowser Subaru has over 100 new Subarus to get you where you need to go. The 2025 Subaru Crosstrek Premium, VIN number RH908770, is ready to conquer the snow-covered roads of Pittsburgh. And right now at Bowser Subaru, you can lease it for just $299 a month. 36-month lease with $2,999 due at signing. Don't wait. Visit Bowser Subaru today and take advantage of this limited time offer. MSRP $30,778, 10,000 miles per year. Dealer dock fee of $477 applies. No security deposit required. With credit approval and financing through SMFL. See Bowser Subaru for complete details. Offer ends January 31st. BowserSubaru.com. Bowser Subaru, Route 51 South on top of the hill.
Hey, folks, it's Marty. New year, and I need, and maybe you need, new windows. We got this big picture window we've got my friends at Universal Windows Direct taking a look at. They're the best windows. They're draft-free, the best insulation, the best pricing. Amazing. Buy 2, get 2 free. Buy 4, get 4 free. Get it? It's absolutely fantastic. And 36 months of no interest financing. 412-543-6003. Universal Windows Direct.
Do you get sinus infections, congestion, sinus pressure and pain, sinus headaches? You've gone to the doctor, you visit urgent care over and over again, and it's always the same thing, right? Oh, I know. Let's try some antibiotics and nasal sprays. But they just keep coming back. You may suffer with chronic sinus infections. The good news? Relief is possible. How? A minimally invasive procedure done in the office of Pittsburgh Sinus Centers called balloon sinuplasty. Imagine the relief of not having to deal with your chronic sinus infections. Set an appointment today with Pittsburgh Sinus Centers and find out if balloon sinuplasty is the solution for you. Call 724-903-8048. 724-903-8048. That's 724-903-8048.
What are your plans this winter? Snowy walk in the park? Curl up by the fire with a nice book? Get stuck in the hospital with COVID-19? If that last one isn't in your plans, and surely it's not, then consider getting an updated vaccine. Because if you're 65 or older, you're 14 times more likely to be hospitalized with COVID-19 than someone under 50. So get your updated vaccine and make the most of this winter. Risk less. Do more. Get started at vaccines.gov. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Sunshine mixing with clouds and very cold this afternoon with a high just 14. Partly to mostly cloudy and very cold tonight, low 9. For tomorrow, clouds and some sun and not so cold for the afternoon, high 28. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Carl Herman Furs store closing sale is in its final days. Save up to 80% while inventory lasts. Drastically reduced savings on furs, shearlings, leather, cashmere, and accessories. You can't afford to miss it. Carl Herman Furs, Smithfield Street.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
Hi, this is Larry Richard. Join us on the Big K Morning Show tomorrow, 5:30 until 10. Our weekly visit with Dr. Mike from Animal General. A lot of people asking about the impact of the extreme cold on their pets.
One of my boys is here, Lance O'Brien, with MediConnect, and the timing is insane because of what's happening. And I don't know if I know Lance knows this stuff like no one I've ever known, but so Trump signed this order, and that's why I have you here, obviously. And let me get to some of it. Signed a sweeping order, executive order, aimed in part at reversing several Biden administration executive orders on health care, including a Biden effort to lower the cost of prescription drugs for people on Medicare and Medicaid, and enhancing the Affordable Care Act and protections for Medicaid and Medicare employees. Trump says these policies are deeply unpopular and radical. And, my man, I'm getting texts from people asking if they're going to take out this $35 monthly cap on insulin and this $2,000 annual out-of-pocket cap on prescription drugs. My brother, people are freaking out over this. Should they be?
No. And so when I first heard that he signed an executive order on prescription drugs, Part D drugs, I was looking for every bit of information I could. And quite frankly, Marty, it's too vague right now. But what I was specifically looking for was, did the executive order affect the not the Affordable Care Act, the Inflation Reduction Act?
Yeah.
That's the big one, right? And this doesn't affect the Inflation Reduction Act. So most people don't realize this, but Trump was the one who actually started 35 insulin. And then it was signed into permanency through the Inflation Reduction Act in 2022.
So why would people be freaked out that he's going to get rid of it?
Well, I think everybody's freaked out in general now, right? Because there's a lot of executive orders and, we're getting a lot of headlines, right? But we're not getting a lot of substance yet. I think as people have a chance to dissect it, then we'll see more substance. But what my concern really was with, is he messing with the Inflation Reduction Act? Because I think that one's important. And so far, we don't see anything related to that.
I might be an idiot, but why would Trump go after the population of seniors so deeply affected by drug prices?
Yeah, and again, it's a lot to unpack, right? I know, and I'm going to go back to this a little bit and circle back, but like with the Inflation Reduction Act, Marty, the big thing with that, there was multiple things, but the big thing was for the first time ever, Medicare was able to negotiate with the pharmaceutical companies related to drug prices.
Yeah.
Think about that, because for me, back in the years before there was Car Gurus and all these other things, what I hated most was going to the car dealership and there not being a sticker on the window of what the car costs, because there was no transparency. And that's really the issue that Medicare has struggled with, is transparency and pricing with prescriptions and other aspects of healthcare.
So I sent you something along the lines of this week that's actually kind of astounding. In big headlines, Ozempic and Wegovy among the drugs selected for Medicare's price negotiations. If that's true, that's huge, right?
It's massive, and that's what's not being touched by this executive order. But they started the first round of these last year, and just to give you an idea, Marty, $216 billion is what Medicare spends on Part D drugs.
Whoa.
On a yearly basis.
Whoa.
$216 billion. So what this order did is it really went after the really expensive drugs. So in the first wave, there was 10 drugs that made up, you ready? $48 billion of it. Stuff like Entresto and Farxiga and Eliquis and things like that. And they've already negotiated those. And here's the cool thing, Marty. They were hoping to save $3.7 billion in taxpayer money. That was their estimate. At the end of the negotiation, they got $6 billion in savings to taxpayers and $1.5 billion the pocket of the individual. So now they're getting into the second round of what you sent me the other day.
So people understand this. There's millions of Americans on this drug, Ozempic and Wegovy. I don't care who you talk to. It's been described as a miracle. Insane weight loss for morbidly obese people and diabetics. But it can be as much as $1,200 a month.
It can be.
Right? And so how would this... So negotiating, based on what you just suggested, could be very, very big in this area.
Could be huge. So like in the first round, the highest that they got off the retail price of one of those first 10 drugs was 79%.
Whoa.
That's pretty big.
Whoa.
The lowest was 38%.
Oh.
Right, so they even got 40% off the list price. So when they get into this second round, right, they're hoping they can get 50, 60, 70% off of the list price of these. So it's huge. Now, you brought up something really important, though. Medicare only covers Ozempic, Wegovy, those types of drugs when it's tied to diabetes.
Nice.
Doesn't
want to look good.
Doesn't do it for weight loss. But think about it. It might be helpful for people over 65 that are struggling with their weight to be able to get access to this. And that is one of the things that Trump is actually talking about trying to do, is get this covered under Medicare.
Well, he's on it.
He's on it. He's trying. Again, a lot of legislations, right?
He lost almost 40 pounds.
Yeah.
And this could be big for seniors, right?
Massive for seniors. Now, again, here's a quick story for you.
Yeah, of course.
Client Experience Department got an outbound call to a new client that we got just this last enrollment period. They were on Ozempic. They're on it for type 2 diabetes, right? They came to us, said, are there any options out there? We got them on a plan. One of the carriers this year, Marty, is covering it for $0.
Whoa.
$0. No copay.
What?
True story. He literally went into his pharmacy, and the pharmacists were applauding when he came in when they handed him his $0 copay Ozempic, which he said to a team member that outreached to him. He said, normally this costs me between $200, $250 a month on my copay. So to your point, if we can take that from $1,200 in retail down to $600 in retail, and then they pay 25%, that's still going to be a huge savings, Mark.
Wow.
These are really, really critical things to happen in the Part D space.
Lance O'Brien, with MediConnect. Man, you're good at this. Patrick was on it for very similar reasons, the insulin-related, the diabetes-related, and his wife had health issues. This would be huge for people, wouldn't it, Patrick?
Oh, massive. Absolutely. For me, I use one of the programs where I pay $25 a month. Mm-hmm. I'm a type 2 diabetic. But for people that aren't, like my wife is not a type 2 diabetic, so the cost for her was almost $600 a month.
Yeah.
And some are paying $1,200.
Absolutely, because, again, it's only got coverage for specific purposes, right? And that's where, for me, in the Medicare space, if somebody's overweight, I mean, I'm not a medical professional, but what I do know, if I weigh less, my chances of being healthier are better. So I think there's value in them looking at it from that perspective.
All right, so all this is very confusing. If folks have questions for you or your people at MediConnect, who I love, that's why he's here, what should they do? Who should they call?
Yeah, so again, the biggest issue facing people right now is Part D. Questions around prescriptions, pricings. They can give us a call, 888-818-6334. They can go to our website, MediConnectInsurance.com. We'll be able to sit down with them, review them. We're saving hundreds of people, sometimes hundreds or thousands of dollars in money, and they need somebody that's in the know.
You're amazing.
Thanks, man.
I mean, friggin' amazing. What you just said today is so important. I just don't see Trump screwing over this many seniors. Do you?
Well, let's think about it this way. There's 50 million people in our country that are on Medicare right now. So that's basically 1 in every 5 to 6 people, right? Whoa. It's a large portion of our population. That first set of drugs we talked about, 9 million people were on those drugs. Whoa. We better not make mistakes when it comes to the prescription. So hopefully Trump, current administration, will continue what happened with the Inflation Reduction Act and not repeal things that could really be damaging.
My man, Lance O'Brien of MediConnect, 888-818-6334. Thanks, brother.
You're welcome, man.
Man, that's important.
Did you know that now you can listen to all your favorite stations, including this one, shows and even podcasts, all on the Odyssey app? Download it now.
Hey, folks, it's Marty. Medicare is most confusing the first time you enroll, whether you have a 65th birthday upcoming or you're looking to finally retire. That's why I love MediConnect, a team of Pittsburghers that can speak Medicare in a language you can understand, so you can be confident you got the right coverage. They work with every insurance company around here, and there is never a fee. I'm serious. 888-818-6334. MediConnectInsurance.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED, because millions of men experience it. Did you know that 1 in 4 people seeking treatment for ED are under 40? So you're not alone. And even better, HIMS can help. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/joy. It all starts with an online intake form. From there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. Through hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Millions of men experience ED, but HIMS can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Local news can come at you fast. Want the latest on what's happening in your backyard? Download the free Odyssey app. Follow your local news station, and you'll get alerts on the top stories making headlines in your city. You can stay in the know, no matter what you're up to, and be among the first to find out when news breaks. Plus, keep tabs on weather and traffic, so you're never caught off guard. To get started, download the Odyssey app. That's AUDACY, and follow your local news station.
Hi, this is elder law attorney Carl Zachariah. Betty called me last week because her mother's in a nursing home and had given her $30,000 2 years ago. I told her that 5-year look back will not apply. We can get it fixed. Call Zachariah Brown at 724-942-6200 or visit PittsburghElderLaw.com.
Hearing the news every day is one thing. Hearing it hit home is something altogether different. That's the difference you hear every day on KDKA Radio. We go beyond the benign headlines and bring the news to life. Your life. So stay here and hear the news and what a difference it makes. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
This is the time of the year when a lot of people want to set new goals for the new year. I just sat down with Pittsburgh's very own board-certified and licensed hypnotherapist, Dan Bitchoff. I've known Dan for many years. He's helped a lot of people. Hi, this is Larry Richard. So what are your goals? You want to lose weight? You want to stop smoking or dealing with anxiety? A lot of people are dealing with that. Call the PA Hypnosis Center today. You can set up a no-obligation pre-consultation at 724-934-8446. Just mention KDKA. Dan will give you $100 off any gift certificate so you can gift this opportunity. And with the PA Hypnosis Center and Dan Bitchoff, he'll offer you a 98% success guarantee. So whatever your goals are, achieve them. You can by calling 724-934-8446, the PA Hypnosis Center with Dan Bitchoff. Call now.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6986. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call
800-575-6986. That's 800-575-6986.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
I'm here for PJ Fitzpatrick. Have you been dreaming of a new shower to replace your slippery old tub? PJ Fitzpatrick can install a low-threshold or low-entry, fully customized jacuzzi shower system in just one day. It is surprisingly affordable and comes with a lifetime guarantee. Trust me, a happy bath makes for a happy life. Better yet, trust PJ. Visit trustpj.com to set up a free design consultation and take advantage of the fall promotions. That's trustpj.com. Trustpj.com.
When he's good, he's thorough good. When he's bad, he's the baddest. George Thorogood and the Destroyers, the baddest show on earth. Saturday, February 22nd, the Event Center at Rivers Casino. Tickets on sale now. Visit riverscasino.com or inside Rivers Casino. George Thorogood and the Destroyers.
And now for a business news update from the Pittsburgh Business Times. I'm managing editor Mike Larson. Cold weather and snow-covered roads have extended Restaurant Week. Last week, the twice-annual Restaurant Week returned to the city of Pittsburgh for its winter service for the New Dishes for the New Year event. The event's been held since 2012, providing diners with a special discounted meal at participating restaurants. Due to heavy snowfall last week, some of the participating restaurants have elected to keep the week going for a second one. Diners are still encouraged to make reservations, mention the event to their servers, and tip generously. A full list of the restaurants still participating are available on the Pittsburgh Business Times website. Also, Maris, a moniker that blends the words merit and us, is the new name of a development firm that's been one of the busiest in western Pennsylvania in recent years. That would be the now former Al Nair, the Cincinnati-based design-build development firm that has put up industrial projects in all corners of the region and is now embarking on multifamily projects as well. The company went live with the new name yesterday, a rebranding for a company that's 130 years old and rebranding 10 years after it shifted to an employee stock ownership plan structure. For more on these stories and other local business news, log on to pittsburghbusinesstimes.com. I'm Mike Larson.
Everything you need, every time you listen. 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
Wow. My man Lance from MediConnect said something actually really spot on. What was it, 7 below this morning? And so I saw that tomorrow it's going to be 20 degrees. I thought, wow, nice. Going to get warm. I don't recall it ever being this cold. I think like 4 or 5 years ago it was 2 below, but nothing like this, man. This is crazy. Wow. Couple things. I pick on the city a lot, and rightfully so, for the crap management of public works. The workers kick ass, but when the trucks are all broken, and when guys smoke weed and don't get punished, I get irritated. And then there's this truck that's up on the stream right now. It's a public works truck. Let me be clear about where it was. This was on Meridell Street at the First Division. The wheels came off the back of the truck while they were driving it. I'm told that it's a truck of laborers. They're not union guys. They're not Teamsters. They don't have CDLs. The laborers are the guys that were smoking a joint in the truck on Negley Hill when they're supposed to be salting the hill. I'm told that they get a list at the beginning of every shift, check the fluids, belts, glass, and sign in. Supposed to do it at the end of the shift. Check the oil. Check the nuts on the wheels. Nobody bothers to check anything from an insider. It's kind of embarrassing. I was also told that the mayor obviously knows about this. Hold on, let me get to that. From one of my boys in Public Works, who said that the mayor was in the Strip yesterday, checking all the vehicles that are broken down. Well, there are plenty. They do a crappy job. They suck at this, and it's worse than I've ever seen it in my career. When you got 10 drivers sitting there in 2 working trucks, that's ignorant. By the way, they finally got salt. They got 2,000 tons last night, so they have salt. But it doesn't have magnesium in it, huh? So, if they throw the salt down right now in this temperature, it would be much better on potato salad or a hamburger, because it ain't working. Wow. One of my boys says that the truck broke because they put 5 tons of salt in a 1-ton truck. Whoa. Whoa. And he says it happens all the time. Wow. I had no idea. So what, all the weight forces the wheel? Oh, man, that is beautiful. Wow. Wow. Well, that's amazing. I've reached out. The other thing about this show, Anthony Coghill threw the hammer down, man, with the mayor, saying he lied to us about the chief, and we're not going to let that happen again. And they're going to put anyone who wants to be chief under oath, and if you lie, you're going to get indicted. Woo! How you doing? Can you imagine? Honey, how'd your interview go? Well, there was a couple of judges there and a cop, and I was on a polygraph, and I lied once, and they threw me in jail, but everything else went great. The big picture on that, they don't trust the mayor. Anthony Coghill has not had a conversation with this mayor in 3 years. My friends, that sucks. And by the way, regarding the truck, I was told that they force these drivers to overload the trucks with salt, and that's why they break down and the wheels come flying off. Wow, learning something new every day here. That is frightening. My man Colin is next.
Every Tuesday morning at 7:20, listen for Inside Independence Health, a look at all things healthcare with the experts from Independence Health System. It's brought to you by Independence Health System. Expert care here.
The Village at St. Barnabas, the perfect place for mom.
Hi, Paul Alexander. Was your goal to lose weight this new year? If so, are you already down 19 pounds? That's a serious question because I dropped 19 pounds my first 3 weeks alone with Awaken 180 weight loss. That's how fast the weight can fall off when you choose the solution for weight loss. Each week you look at the scale and the number goes down and down. Every morning you wake up and you feel better and better. For me, it was the weekly meetings with the coach. I was so excited to hop on that scale and see what kind of progress I was making. They were always happy.